not just a case. You're not just a client. You're a person, and you deserve support. You deserve simplicity. You deserve communication. When you hire an attorney, you deserve clear, risk-free advice that guides you to the best possible outcome in your injury case. And that's exactly what the advocates have been providing for over 30 years. After your accident, you deserve closure. You deserve compassion. You deserve peace of mind. You deserve an advocate.
This is The Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find The Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hello, friends. It is Tuesday. I almost said Thursday. Tuesday, May 26, 2026, live on The Monty Show. A pleasure to be with you. We are live. Everybody has been asking me for some reason for the last week, when are you guys live? We are live every single day, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, everywhere you want to be live. We're live there. Check it out. We appreciate you being here. As always, we are presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. The 100 deadliest days of the year start pretty much right now, with Memorial Day already behind us. Somehow you figured that out. The rest of the year is downhill. But the 100 deadliest days start right now. Take that seriously. Slow down when you're driving. Look both ways multiple times. People are on their bikes. Kids are on their scooters. You got everybody on Lime scooters everywhere. Slow down. And if the worst happens, get to the best at theadvocates.com, where you never reach into your pocket to pay the advocates. The best part about working with the advocates is you get clear, risk-free advice, and you never reach into your pocket to pay, because you don't pay the advocates unless and until they win your case. So get it hooked up 24/7, 365 at theadvocates.com. All right. The SEC spring meetings are underway in Destin, Florida. I love how people are like, oh, it's the SEC meetings in Destin, Florida. Who cares if they're in Poughkeepsie, New York? It is so strange to me that we get all fired up about where the meetings are. But listen, Greg Sankey speaks, everybody listens. And I can only tell you so many times, all the biggest names in, college sports listen to this show. And when I listen to Greg Sankey talk, and you listen to the things that he says, you guys generally will lose your minds and talk about what a scumbag he is, and that Greg Sankey is, terrible for college football, and everybody hates him, and he's selfish, and all he wants to do is make ESPN money. Right. I'm sure that's Greg Sankey's number one job, make ESPN money. The truth is, I think Greg Sankey's one of the few sane people in the room when it comes to this conversation about the college football playoff and expanding it. And I'm going to say the same thing that I've said for months and years on this. Don't do it. 12, I think 12 is more than enough. There is no good reason to go to more than 12 teams. Nobody's come up with one. You haven't come up with one on this show. I have not been able to find somebody to tell me that going to 24 teams is anything but a cash grab. That's all it is. It is socialism for really crappy football conferences with really crappy football teams. That's what it is. And you listen to Greg Sankey talk about the expansion of college football, and I will continue to tell you that you cannot, in my opinion, sit here and believe that 24 teams is good for college football, that putting 24 teams in is going to solve everything, because I'm telling you, go to 24, it doesn't solve anything.
There is consternation. And that's back to kind of Pete's question about what can you quantify, how do you understand? And you know what? Pick a number. So let's go to the NCAA basketball. Next year, there will be the first four out, and those first four will be angry. This year, we were at 12, and we had a couple programs angry. I mean, good teams, angry that they weren't in the top 12. we go to 24, we've run the metrics. And we had an outside company do it, so this is not SEC bias. And you look at teams 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Like along that continuum, 3 are going to get in, 22, 23, 24, and 2 are going to get left out. And sometimes our teams will get in, and sometimes our teams will be left out. And you know what? There'll be angry people about that.
It doesn't matter how many you go to. No, it's unfair. It's unjust. 84, 97 million, 642 billion teams are in. It's unjust. It's unfair. That's what's going to happen. So you can't tell me that going to 24 solves a single problem with we should have been in. How did we get left out? It doesn't fix Florida State. It doesn't fix Notre Dame. The undeserving teams that want to whine and complain about being on the outside looking in win more football games. It is as simple as that. It's never been argued anywhere that you can win too much. Oh, they won too much. We got to leave them out. When's the last time we heard that argument? It's never been brought up. But what do we hear constantly? Socialism. Oh, look at what Greg Sankey said about automatic qualifiers. Oh, man, we want no automatic qualifiers, right? I mean, I know I said on this show, Greg Sankey and the SEC are the ones pushing no automatic qualifiers, strength of schedule, strength of record, like a record against P4s. That's it. Strength of schedule, strength of record, and record against P4s. That's how you figure out who's in and who's out, right? No automatic qualifiers. Keep the conference championship games. Get rid of the conference championship games. I think you got to keep them. But hey, okay, you won you're a P4, you won your conference, you're in. But what did we tell you on this show? Who's in favor and who asked for multiple? It was 8, it was 10, it was, every team in our conference gets in. The Big Ten. And what did Greg Sankey said yesterday? And I don't think we have the bite, but what did Greg Sankey say yesterday? Well, yeah, we're in favor of no automatic qualifiers. No AQs. None. Let's do it on the merits because the math adds up for the SEC. It doesn't in any way add up. If you're the Big Ten and you do it without automatic qualifiers, you're getting 2 or 3 teams in every year. Not the 8, not the 10, not the 50 that they've been asking for. So when I sit here and I say all of this because everybody wants to vilify Greg Sankey, let me ask you this. If you're a Big Ten fan and Greg Sankey's the devil, why don't you want to win it on the field? Why don't you want to play your way into the college football playoff? Why are you not in favor of 0 automatic qualifiers, 12 teams based on strength of schedule, strength of record, and your record against P4 opponents? Well, there's only one answer to that. And the answer is you don't think that you can win games. You want to put 3 and 4 loss teams in. Because I'm not in favor of that at all. I am, and you listen to Marcus Freeman. Listen to this bite from Marcus Freeman. And you're gonna get a couple of things out of this. Listen to what Marcus Freeman says about winning and losing games.
I still think every Saturday matters. And we approach it as every Saturday matters. What changes now is, okay, your mindset, maybe depending on the outcome of that previous Saturday. Whereas probably when I played, if you lost a game, for sure if you lost 2, you knew that, okay, we got 12 games in a bowl game. And that's what we got. Well, now it's like, okay, guys, we might have lost a game. We still understand what lies ahead, what we can achieve, but this Saturday matters, right? And so I think the ability to have that hope for the postseason is important, but the only way to get to that point is to take care of this Saturday.
First of all, how about the drip, boys? That's a $25,000 diamond tennis bracelet around his neck. Bro makes like $10 million a year. Did he get into the college football playoff last year? No. Did he whine about it? No. Bavacqua did. Did Marcus Freeman whine about it? No. And what is Marcus Freeman saying right there? Saturdays matter. You have to win every single week, especially as an independent. That's what I love. I'm tired of us all running from winning football games is the only thing that matters when we're talking about the 12 best teams in the country. I don't think we should go past 12, period. That's
yeah,
it.
I mean, I just think that the mindset around going past 12, it's all about money. I mean, that's literally it. You're exactly right. It's a cash grab. And I think that whether it's money with the CFP, money in NIL, private equity, money is, ransacking the sport. There's money everywhere when money didn't used to be in those places. And so now you've got Tony Petitti and the Big Ten trying to say, okay, well, on one hand, hey, we've got 2 national championships back to back. We're the best ever. But on the other hand, we don't want to keep it at 12 because we don't want to win it on the field. And so that's the hypocrisy that I see with the Big Ten. I don't know how you can on one hand say you're the best, on the other hand fight Greg Sankey about no AQs, keep or don't keep the conference championship games, whatever on that point, but just this concept of, hey, it's all decided on the field, and that's pretty much it. And I think the more teams you allow in, the less decision making actually happens on the field. The easier it becomes for the committee to say, yeah, you're a 3-loss team, but you're still in because we got 24 slots to fill. That's the hard part.
I want somebody to explain to me why we should have automatic qualifiers, because I don't see the need for them. I truly do not see the need to automatically put somebody in, especially if you eliminate the conference championship game. I'm all here for 4 automatic qualifiers, 1 from each of the P4 leagues. Done. Play the conference championship game, have it matter, done. It's as simple as that. You want to have chaos like they had in the ACC last year, done. I am all about it. That's it, 4. You get 1 from each league. And then the other 8, you got to play your way in. You've got to play your way in. I don't want 8, 12, 14-week college football playoffs. I don't want watered down, meaningless playing game so Jimmy the G6 college can feel like they accomplished something meaningful other than their jet propulsion science class. Because that's what it feels like we're doing. We're trying to get to 24, and we're trying to include Mabel's knitting school because they matter. They don't matter. Nobody wants the G6 in the college football playoff. They're already discussing and have essentially formed the framework of a G6 playoff. Go win it, man. Go win it. Go make your money. There's a TV deal out there for you. Go win it. The P4 needs a 12-team playoff and no automatic qualifiers. I would be 100% in favor of that. I happen to be somebody who loves the conference championship game. I think conference championship Saturday is amazing. And I hope that we don't lose those games. My guess is we will, because greed always wins.
Right.
My guess is we will, and we will probably at some point end up at 24. But this is the other thing that I say about Tony Petitti. It's 12 or it's 24, and that's it. Until Greg Sankey pulls your pants down and says, yeah, well, you're the one that brought up 16 last year. And what did I tell you on this show? Oh, man, I'm telling you, the Big Ten.
Yeah, free pass. That's what they want. They want
8 automatic qualifiers, 16. Well, they never said. Are you sure? You want to die on that hill? Because you don't. I'm telling you, they want a free pass. You want a free pass. And again, I know Greg Sankey sucks. He's selfish. He's in bed with ESPN. He hates everybody. He's a terrible human being, frankly. I mean, the guy should send him to be, he's probably the serial killer in Puerto Vallarta right now. Like, he's
Don't go to Mexico. We've told you 100,000 times.
Yeah. I mean, just call him Vladdy, right? I mean, Greg Sankey is a terrible person.
Yeah, we've used examples from professional sports. When professional sports have added to their postseason, it's always been a small adjustment. 4 to 12 was monumental, but I think it was justifiable. And you want to be careful about how far you go. And that's understanding the competitive impacts And maybe you bring more teams into the conversation, and you make a judgment, because that's what I think you'd have to do, that, hey, a game that may not have that same type of leverage, if you will, or that same type of value because both teams could be in, that's minimal, but the ability to bring more teams into the conversation that would have been out creates value in the regular season.
No, what a jackass. I mean, can you believe this guy?
Yeah, what a fool, dude. Yeah.
Common sense.
Yeah.
So again, I think we sit here and today we have the conversation. What is it that you hate about Greg Sankey? Because I'm telling you, he is speaking common sense. What else have I told you? He doesn't want to shrink the game. He wants to expand the game. What did he say yesterday? It's a national sport. It is not a regional sport. And I love that everybody lost their mind over Greg Sankey talking about self-governance. Oh, this clown. Can you believe he wants to govern himself?
Well, he's the only one talking about self-governance, right, Monty?
Turns out that's not true. Every commissioner's talked about it.
Oh, every commissioner wants to get away from the NCAA and wants to self-govern so it doesn't take 8 to 12 business weeks to discipline someone.
That's
for,
not true. Greg Sankey's
running
a bad
sign
person.
stealing scandal and
Bad guy.
iPhone gate at Michigan
Terrible.
State and just all these terrible things that like to go on.
He's in bed with ESPN.
Come on,
what
dude.
a clown.
Come on, dude.
What a clown.
What's next? Somebody accusing him of being involved with Rossini? Is that the new allegation? Like, come on, bro. Like, you guys make something up new every day. And it's just one of those deals where it's like, we went away from the BCS because we were sick and tired of computers and, the field not mattering. And so we need humans to make a decision, Monty. But now we have those humans making decisions, Monty. And now we want free passes and free passes and free passes, like your Lelu Dallas multi-pass from the Fifth Element. And you think that you can just walk into the college football playoff whenever you want to. And that's just not the case. That's not that goes against the essence of the sport. And I think that the money verbiage that Sankey used in that last clip was going from 4 to 12 was justifiable. You could say, okay, cool. Yeah, 4 might feel a little small. Like it's a solid system. It works. But if we had 12, that would still work with our TV partners, it would still work in the calendar, the schedule. It really wouldn't throw like a wrench into it too much. And the committee would just expand itself in terms of, how many teams it puts in. So it kind of worked. Like it was a matter of convenience in that way. But 24 is just a whole other beast. I mean, you're talking about, to your point, I mean, you're talking about what, like a 12-week, 8-week, college football playoff situation with 2014. Like, I mean, it's just
why?
It's just so much. Like, I do agree that everyone's talking about watering down the regular season, but what about just watering down the college football playoff in general? I mean, do we not look to the college football playoff to be what drives us through the holiday season outside of the NFL? Besides the NFL, we have the CFP, and that's the other thing that really gets us through as sports fans. So, I don't know, man. I think we like to make this complicated. I think we like to bring our personal opinions in, or our personal feelings and bias into, oh, well, the Big Ten's not the bad guy here. I'm not saying the Big Ten is somehow just a terrible conference, but you can't get away from that. They do want a free pass, that all they care about right now is money. And it's, it's like what the Joker said, right? The CFP deserves a better class of criminal. And Greg Sankey's here to give that to you because he's absolutely filling the role.
Yeah, I don't see any reason at all to go to 24. As much as I know that everybody wants that, I'm just again going to ask what is the rationale that makes a 2014 college football playoff make sense? Because I haven't found it yet. I don't know what it is. I think I do know what it is. It's socialism. We're not good enough to get multiple teams in. It's what the ACC and the Big 12 should be asking for.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I think this is a Big 12 problem, or this is a Big 10 problem. The Big 10 doesn't want to earn it on the field. It's like you guys. You don't want to hit the like button right now. You're gonna, but you don't want to hit the like button right now.
Yes, you did.
Right. So, hit the like button. That helps the channel grow. All right. First one in today, Giggity, who's been a member for 40 months. How about that? How about that, Giggity? I appreciate your service. Hope you had a good holiday weekend. At some point, we need to talk about Happy Memorial Day. My wife thinks I'm a red ass over it.
I was surprised we didn't get it last week. You've made it a tradition the last couple of years to say it, to talk about it, but we didn't get it last week.
Trying to be less of an a-hole. I'm failing. But please don't say Happy Memorial Day. It's you know.
Yeah.
And if you're like Giggity and you served our country, thank you for your service. I really do appreciate it. Noel Ramirez for $2. I'm willing to pay $2 and admit I'm a Sankey hater.
Well,
okay. $2 well spent.
I can respect that.
$2 well spent. I appreciate that. He also says first, Matt Ritson, Monty, and Jake. Morning. Jay McClenahan. What's up? Randy Riding. Good to see you. Frog Father says morning, Monty in the vest. Morning. Mike Smith, who's still not a member. Socialism, cash grab, commies, fascists, America haters. Exactly. Maury Alvarez, hello. Good to see you. Good morning, boys. Last 3 days of school year. Yes.
Gosh, all the rugrats are going to be out running around now.
Is it not amazing that you guys, we're past Memorial Day weekend?
Yeah.
It is June. Where is this year going? Honest to goodness, that was being in Paris was last week. Last week, it feels like. And the new year and nope. That was 6 months ago. That was 6 months ago.
Yeah, crepes were 6 months ago.
That's incredible. Yeah, but I guess technically 5 calendar months ago. That's incredible. Cryptic Warden. Hello, Jeremiah. In Texas UIL concert ban. If a program wins, they are not allowed to win the next year.
Yeah, but see, again, that like I don't ever want to see that type of concept in college football. And this is, I think there's a lot to talk about with the question of, well, why do people want 24? And if you're the Big 12 or the ACC, but more the Big 12, you want 24 to give your conference the best chance to make money. And what was the rhetoric we heard last week? Well, how could it be worse to have more teams in? How could, if we have more teams competing, how is that bad for the sport? Well, I know how it's bad for the sport. If we have teams competing that don't deserve to be competing because they didn't win ball games, and we're just giving them handouts as 3 and 4 loss teams, that's not good for the sport, man. I mean, again, and I guess, we can find a graphic, I guess, off the top of our head, but I have to think that if we pulled up like the AP top 25 and looked at 25, 26, 27, like that 25 to 30 range for teams, you're going to see 4 loss teams in that range, bro. And those teams would be competitive in the sense of getting into the CFP. Those teams would still be in the conversation. So I just look at it and I say, bro, we went from, well, 4's not enough because the SEC and the Big dominated. And, that was really the SEC's high water mark at that point when we were in a 4-team CFP. We go to 12, Michigan and Ohio State and all these schools cheating, not cheating, whatever. The Big Ten just finds a way to have some traction here in the postseason. So now they feel like they have leverage over the conversation. But whether you like it or not, it remains the case that unless ESPN and, again, Greg Sankey and the SEC get on board with it, I just don't see how you push 24 through. And that's what I think that is what I was pleased to see out of Greg yesterday Greg was putting on a master class of leaning on Tony Petitti through the media yesterday, meaning, you're talking about, hey, you got to be careful how much you expand. The pro sports have done this and, it didn't really work out for them. They've always expanded in small increments. Number one. Number two, when he was asked about 16 teams, well, we didn't bring up 16 teams. The Big Ten brought up 16 teams last year. We didn't bring 16 up. That wasn't an SEC idea, and we're not really here for that. Like, Greg has just been taking the questions and turning them around to say, hey, we want to earn it on the field and we don't want a free pass. And the Big Ten wants the exact opposite. And that's why I say, if you're not reading between the lines here and seeing what he's actually doing, you're missing the whole point of the conversation yesterday at the meetings.
Yeah, I feel like this is, I don't know where it's going, because he also said, don't expect us to act anytime soon. Don't expect answers on the college football playoff this week, which means we'll probably get answers,
Right.
But we'll see. I don't know. What I want is utopic. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone and make people win football games. I really don't think it's that difficult to do. Because I also agree with Sankey that I don't care how many teams are in the playoff. If you go to 24, the 25th one will be pissed off.
Yep.
You're never going to please all the people, and you shouldn't be trying to.
And we've been talking about that since we had a 4-team CFP. That's been a conversation for a long, long time.
Yep. Nick D, honestly, with 4 power conferences, we should be at a 8-team playoff. If you make your conference championship game, you're in. You win, you get a home game in the first round. There you go. I mean, I am smaller is better. It should be. If you're just tuning in, you miss Marcus Freeman talking about how every Saturday matters. Every Saturday should matter, and it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. If you're going to put 3 and 4 loss teams in, you're going to lose me as a fan. Because I'm not interested in a 3 or 4 loss college football playoff team winning a national championship.
Yeah, and I think in addition to that, I think the other part, when you're talking about change and watering it down, basically, and putting teams in that shouldn't be there, how many times are you going to change the format, bro? Like, how many times are you going to go and change the format and ask your fans to keep up? Like, I understand the fans don't matter, and that, it's because they don't. Like, the opinion of fans doesn't really matter to these people making these decisions. But at some point, there's got to be some value on, hey, like, we're going to stick at a certain number, and we're going to stick to that until a new entity emerges, or
you would think so,
for a while or whatever, like some time period. And that's the part that I don't quite understand from the Big Ten side of it. Like, I'm really curious obviously the Big Ten wants a free pass and they want to get a lot more teams in, but I'm curious what meeting was had where they looked at a P&L sheet and were like, hey, like, here's our opportunity with the CFP and what they're actually trying to do. Because you can't tell me someone just off the top of their head was like, man, we need to really try to change the whole system so that we could try to get more teams in. I don't believe that's your sole motivation. I think that things like private equity deals, things like that bring in a new line item on a P&L sheet in these meetings, get people talking. And I do think that that's where a lot of people are like, well, man, if we could just open the floodgates, that would really change the conversation. But that would also kill the sport. And that's why I think you can't do it.
Yeah. Totally agree. Nick D, Notre Dame gets a free pass, so why not just give all the blue chip programs a free pass? How does Notre Dame get a free pass? I don't think Notre Dame gets a free pass. Maury says, I know we went away from the BCS to give the human element, but I'm tired of the human element. What happens on the field matters. At some point it should. At some point it should. And it's not BYU or Notre Dame that was an aggrieved party. It was BYU. BYU should have been in the playoff last year. You lost to a playoff team, and that was it. And I know everybody's going to say, well, Monty, the Magic Underpants didn't help you against Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Well, I agree. Texas Tech beat BYU into the ground twice. That does not mean because BYU is not better than Texas Tech that they're not one of the 12 best teams in the country. Because pretty much by any metric they were, and they still didn't get in.
I think the argument would be not Texas Tech, it would be JMU. You can't make an argument that says JMU is better than BYU, and that's the problem is that I don't want to expand the CFP, but I also don't want teams like BYU or others who have been on the bubble in recent years getting bounced for a G6 team because we're forcing the G6 to be part of this thing. And that's yeah, exactly. Like that's the hard part.
Socialism. Oh, handouts because remember in this country now we're not allowed to help people, but unless it's the college football playoff, and then the G6 gets free money. Noel Ramirez, I was just in Dolores Hidalgo, Guanajuato, Mexico, not too long ago. It was beautiful. There's a serial killer. So let's recap. Human heads in burlap sacks, bodies hanging from overpasses. Now, serial killer. I'll take your word for it, dude. I'll go to Hawaii. I'll go to Paris. I'll go to London. I know what happens in Mexico. Okay. I watched The Bridge. I know how that town works.
We've seen Sicario, bro. Come on.
Whatever that violent show on Paramount you love so much is with Zoe Saldana.
Yeah, Lioness.
Yeah, I've seen Lioness. I know how the border works.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just hate that we have a committee of ADs and politicians instead of a committee of former coaches and players who know ball. Would that fix it?
I mean,
If
I'm
Condi
a believer
Rice
that
wasn't on the committee.
You're never going to remove personal bias. It's just not happening. I don't care what document you want someone to sign or what oath you want them to take. Put their left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand, repeat after me. I don't care. Like if you went to Bama, if you went to Ohio State, whatever, you're going to have an inherent bias in your opinion making. It just is what it is.
Okay. Your favorite movie is now The Fifth Element?
I mean, it's a good movie. I wouldn't say it's my favorite movie, but it's certainly a good movie.
It's one of those movies you always watch, but it's not your favorite movie.
Yeah.
That's I know you said you were 1 pound away last week. Did you get to or surpass your target weight? Yes. We're on to a new target weight. Yes, we are below the line of demarcation. We need to move the season up a month and have the Natty on New Year's Day. A month? I don't know about that. But, hello, Monty. Let's make it a perfect 10 today. Okay. No idea what you're talking about. Nick T, 9-3 Texas, 8-4 Michigan get in and money. Yeah. If an 8-4 team gets in, I give up. I give up. That would be terrible. Ken Maynor. Oh, dude, your Hurricanes. The Canadians got cheated last night. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Canadians had that game won in regulation, and they took a goal away. Canadians got absolutely cheated last night.
Yeah, listen, I love the NHL. That series has been really good. We got to do away with, hey, team dominated you for 5 minutes, goes down into your end, puts the puck in the back of the net. You challenge, offside gets called, goal gets removed. We got to do away with that. If you're not going to call the offsides live during the play, I just don't understand why we're this isn't Major League Baseball with balls and strikes, right? It would literally be like, hey, you just hit a home run and all of a sudden something happens, so we're taking that off the board. Like you're not doing that, man.
pitch, 5 pitches ago was a strike, so that home run's off the board.
Yeah, like I just don't understand it, dude. I mean, it's like whether the call was right or not isn't even the conversation. The call is that it wasn't made on the ice, and then you went and dug that thing up from 6 feet under, took a goal off, and then the result is the result. Like it's just not good for the game.
Yeah, it is. The Canadians had that game stolen from them. It's brutal. Big Ten just wants schools like Minnesota and Iowa to get participation trophies to hang in their stadiums. I think what they want is free money because Iowa and Minnesota don't belong in the college football playoff, period. Bro, I've never been as confused as I was when I first saw The Fifth Element as a kid. I was like, the hell is going on? Seriously.
Dude, it's a great movie, dude. It's a little different, but it's a great movie.
This case is empty.
Yeah, the stones are in me.
Cold-blooded,
You know.
clean, methodical, and thorough.
If the point is to find the best team, we only need to include teams that have a realistic chance of winning the net. Well, it's so subjective.
But yeah, Tom, how
Right?
do you like again when we start using words like realistic? What does that mean? Realistic. How do you define that?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly. 24 team playoff means the 2s and 3s at Texas make the playoff.
God, you're such a red ass, dude. You are.
What does
such a
2s
red
and
ass.
3s at Texas mean?
Sark said that he made a reference to Big 12, the Big 12 scheduling, and that he said that our 2s and 3s could win most week in the Big 12.
They
That
can.
Sark made that comment. And so everyone then, of course, said, well, you guys were in the Big 12 and you didn't go to the championship game, but won, and whatever the stat was for Texas going to the Big 12 championship game. And it just is, I'm really like, and we don't have it on the slate today, but I'm happy to say I'm really sick and tired of Texas Tech fan and Texas Tech defender and slurper coming out here trying to say that they're the best at anything or are even competitive against the SEC or the Big Ten for that matter, because you have no factual way to say that. And I understand if you're just a Big 12 fan and you didn't appreciate Sark's backhanded comment about the Big 12, okay, that's a different conversation. We can talk about that because I do agree it is a backhanded ass comment.
But he's
the
not
truth
wrong.
Is, yeah,
He's
the
not
truth
wrong.
is that the 2s and 3s would most certainly be at a minimum, no matter who you ask, would absolutely be competitive with the ones in the Big 12. And most weeks, I do think, from an execution standpoint, would beat the Big 12. I do think that. So
Every quarterback on Texas's roster would start over Brendan Sorsby. Any questions? The 2s and 3s at Texas are better than the ones at Texas Tech. And Cody Campbell can flap his gums about, well, then play us. Well, the last time you played Texas, it didn't go well. And the thing that annoys me about this is the nonsense, the foolishness of Oak State fan holding the door for Oklahoma. All you did was weaken a conference today, Caffey. When you say stupid shit like, well, you didn't win the Big 12 conference, was Sark there for all those years? Oh, wait, Texas Tech fan, you just won your first Big 12 conference. What's your excuse? You've got one, and then you got torched in the college football playoff. So, don't get me started. I'm not playing your games today. The bottom line is the 2s and 3s at Texas do win the Big 12 championship. Yeah, they do. Under this coach, yeah, they do. Period. Nick to you has been a member for 8 months. Use a point systems and let it be decided on the field. You could do that. You could do that. Also, ESPN shouldn't be allowed to have TV rights to both conferences and the CFP. Why? That's America, baby. They're paying for it.
I love this angle. So what's the bias then, Nick?
And what is the conflict of interest?
Yeah. I mean, if I could understand I could easily understand if ESPN didn't have or had the CFP and only aired SEC games. Like if you didn't see the Big 12 or the ACC or even the Big 10 through SEC matchups, you know, I could see that, right? Hey, well, it's ESPN and SEC, ESPN, CFP, so there's natural bias there. But they're putting on so much content from all 4 power conferences that I don't know how you can say that it's biased towards the SEC for ESPN. I think that you want to have a conversation about the talking heads at ESPN all getting together around a round table and fighting, expanding the CFP and everyone kind of noticing that and the PR storm that caused for ESPN. We could talk about that. We can have a conversation that, in my opinion, ESPN needs to do a better job of making sure that like Reese Davis or, you know, Booger McFarland or whoever you want to point to does a better job of not all making the exact same argument on basically the same day, so it's all trending on Twitter at the same time because that makes you look a certain way. Yeah, that's a conversation, but I just don't like this concept or this thought of inherent bias. I just don't think that's. I think that's a narrative. I don't think that actually takes place. This was the whole smoking gun argument the Pac-12 made in ESPN contracts, and that's too tinfoily for me.
Yeah, I think that's how we live. I'm tired of it. I'll be honest. I'm so tired of this conversation. This is the same. It's Big Ten fan feeling like they have the best conference and we've won 2 national championships in a row. And congratulations, you don't have the best conference. SEC, oh, we dominate. You guys don't win championships anymore. Big 12, we're victims. Well, Cody Campbell's sitting on his wallet. Buy yourself fame, right? Like, I mean, everybody do business the right way. Do business the right way. Fire shitty coaches. Replace them with better coaches. It's as simple as that. I don't love the fact that Lane Kiffin is already in trouble with the SEC. I do love that Lane Kiffin was hired as the head coach at LSU because all they care about is ball and winning games. Now, they hired a scumbag, in my opinion, to be their basketball coach. But we'll get into Lane in a minute. Noel Ramirez, I remember someone saying this was just to try and get teams like Nebraska, and that had been irrelevant for years into the playoff, or Oklahoma that moved to the SEC. No, in the comments section, should we have automatic qualifiers? You already know where I come down on this. The most I would give is 4, period. That's it. 1 for each college conference champion.
Yep.
That's it. Other than that, I don't see the point of it. Big Daddy Dallas. Damn, Monty going balls deep on Sankey today. Dude, you don't need automatic qualifiers. 24 teams solves every doubt, but you guys don't want that. You see, you guys, you want 24 teams? How about we do 12 teams? I know. How about we do 4 teams with no automatic qualifiers? How about that? How about, okay, you want to do 12? 12 teams, no automatic qualifiers. No caps on who gets in from what conference. Win games on the field, strength of schedule, strength of record against P4 teams.
Just head up, dude.
How about that? Done. Oh, wait, the Big Ten will never approve that. The Big Ten will never approve that. They want 24 with 8 automatic qualifiers. That's what they want. And I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. Oh, look, Oak State James is in for 36 months now.
Okay. Nice, bro. Thank you.
36 months. Pretty good. Ken Maynor, who's been a member for 6 months.
There you go, dude. Nice.
Speaking of welfare for hockey teams, Sankey will hold the line and we will stay at 12. I hope he does. And I think that's why people hate him, because he does have the power. I think he has all the
No
power.
question.
Welcome to the nightmare. Scott Frost is still your head coach, so
Dude.
the flag is still probably upside down at half mast too.
Bro,
4 AQs for conference champions, and the best fill the rest of the slots.
Listen, bro, welcome to Nightmare, UCF fan, bro. Dude, need to have a conversation about UCF's athletic department, bro. I mean, ass in football, not great in basketball. Softball just got dominated by UCLA over the weekend. What's next? The chess team? The baseball team? If you have baseball, I'd have to check. At some point,
drama club.
Yeah, I mean, what's next? Drama club? Someone getting booted off the stage, dude? I mean, we gotta. I feel for you, bro. Like, it's tough times down there.
Yeah. 12 teams, no AQs. And if you want to keep, because the Big Ten wants to get rid of conference championship games.
Which I'm totally against, dude. I think conference championship games are the essence of college football.
Yeah. The hundo P.
Like,
I totally agree.
And you know what the problem is that like this argument that well, 24 teams, ensures the best teams are in. Well, why do I want to ensure the best teams are in through AQs? Why wouldn't I just want to ensure the best teams are in via winning on the field? And I'm here for the conversation around, well, selection committee, the criteria, what we're looking for. Okay, I'm cool with that. I'm happy to have that conversation with Big Ten fan. I mean, that I think is really the most important part of this conversation is how the committee goes about that. But I would prefer to take humans and computers out of it altogether. That again, this is what we always get to. Hey, why is the NFL so great? Well, because you don't need a committee and you don't need computers.
Exactly right.
It's all on the field.
Exactly right.
It's all on the field.
Jerry Jones doesn't put himself in.
Yeah, no, Jerry Jones doesn't put himself in. Jerry Jones also doesn't put up curtains, and so that costs them a spot in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like that is the very essence. That's why, like, I can really draw everything that happens in the NFL off of that point. That we as fans can say, yep, you know what? It's week 17. This game matters, but these guys are resting their starters because they're already in. They've already got the bye secured and everything's good. But like, I think that's what truly makes the NFL great is that I don't have to worry about drama. We get the media asking coaches things like, hey, well, dude, you guys, you knew going into the game X, Y, and Z, and you still went out there and lost to X, Y, and Z. Like, that's why we're able to get those type of questions. And
100%.
I just don't feel like we get that in college football because it's like again, the most recent example we have is Notre Dame, Miami. And I think everybody agrees that Notre Dame, Miami should have had a playing game to kind of decide it and determine it.
And Notre Dame is the victim. They had the best 10-game stretch in the history of college sports. And yet we got left out and you lost the only 2 games on your schedule. So what has Notre Dame done? Notre Dame's built a much better schedule over the next 10 years. That's going to include BYU and USC. I'm here for it. Win your games, you're in. Is Notre Dame not the most
perfect
brutally raw? Did you win? Oh, you did? Okay, you're in. Did you? Oh, you lost. You're out. Simple as that. You don't want to join a conference? As it should be, dude. As it should be. Fan 21. I think the biggest headache is the Big Ten SEC were given a majority of the decision-making power, yet nothing's getting done. College football needs a leader, not 10 cooks in the kitchen. Ooh.
Yeah, but see, the problem with that is, and I do agree with you, but the problem with that is that people don't feel Sankey is people feel that Sankey's too biased, that somehow Sankey isn't trying to put together what's best for college football. And again, I do think that, like, I'm happy to commit to dying on the hill of no AQs or just conference championship AQs, and the rest of the teams are in. I like 12 because I feel like it's enough teams to where it doesn't feel like it's a tiny little thing that happens in college football, but it's not too many teams where I feel like it's a charity handout or socialism. Like 12 to me is a perfect number. I think that there are other ideas you can do, but the reality is that 12 without the G6 involved is, to me, the perfect system. And the only other adjustment I would make is having everything decided on the field, just like it is once the CFP starts. Once the CFP starts, we don't really have, conversations about who's going where and what's taking what. Like, it's basically a tournament at that point. And that's why I think the keep the conference championship games, because then we're deciding who gets the AQ on the field. And then from there, I think you just have to come up with a system everyone agrees upon. But that's our issue, is that nobody will agree on what the actual determining factors are. Like, that's the problem.
Yeah, I'm texting with Marcus, and he makes a very good point. First of all, Marcus says he brought up the word socialism with the college football playoff at lunch the other day with some of his cronies. And he claims it was a invented fire moment. linking everybody gets into socialism. Look, I do what I can do to make you guys smarter at the water cooler.
You're welcome, by the way.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anything I can do, because Marcus is pretty like stupid. He's not a smart guy. So anytime that, he can steal a nugget of my awesomeness,
Wish this was you.
elevating the game and stuff, Marcus would also like Jake to know that his son, in fact, doubled down on the power washer purchase from last week.
Dude.
He got a variety pack of nozzles at Lowe's this weekend. So, because Jake apparently was espousing about the greatness of a power washing business.
Yep.
And, Marcus's kid is all in on it and has his first client today.
It's as simple as 3 houses a day, $400 a pop. Simple as that.
Yep, he is doing a garage roof, a soft wash garage roof today.
Simple as that.
So,
first house goes to taxes, second, third house go to your pocket. You have a nice dinner.
$350 to soft wash the garage roof, the back patio, and the paver walkway. He even went to LegalZoom and got an agreement drawn up that makes it a contract, because apparently he was watching YouTube videos where people were doing the job and then people were trying to push them down on price after the job was done.
Yeah,
so he makes them sign an agreement beforehand.
Yeah.
And the guy's going to let him, if he does a good job, the guy's going to let him put a sign in his front yard.
Yep.
So there you go.
Down, dude.
Which I say amazing.
It's the way. It's the way, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. College. And he's just hoping to pay for college with it. So we'll keep you up to date. But Marcus agrees. It's socialism and that it's an easy route. So Event Horizon. Greg Sankey, I don't know why I said it like that. It just struck me in that way.
Well, it just is one of those names that it works with the big announcer voice.
Big announcer voice guy. Greg Sankey will do what his 16 bosses want him to do, or he will quit. And if his bosses want him to go to 24, he will have no choice unless he quits like a British politician who no longer has support. Okay.
Yeah. So this is straight out of the Cody Campbell playbook. Brett Yormark works for us, dude.
The geopolitics.
Know your role and shut your mouth.
Let's bring in the House of Lords and Parliament and stuff.
Get a life, man. Come on.
Noel Ramirez, I'm Puerto Rican. I'll just use Mexican slang and blend in. Well, okay. Dude, I'm not going to Mexico.
Nope.
We'll talk about it in about 90 minutes, 2 hours here about this serial killer in Puerto Vallarta. Nah, bruh. And listen, I understand that serial killers can operate anywhere that there's a lot of people. Serial killers can thrive. Totally get that. It just seems to be Mexico always has the creep fest. Mexico always has the weirdest of the weird. I'm glad the U.S. keeps all the serial killers on that side of the border. Don't start. Bailey Dietrich, hats off to the Knicks last night from this Cavs fan.
Got to talk about it, bro. At some point, got to talk about it.
Is Donovan Mitchell he's just not that guy?
Nope.
Is he just not that guy?
Nope.
It's a really interesting question, dude. It's a really interesting question. Maury Alvarez, I'm a serial, Cereal, killer every morning. Okay. I like that. Having soup for breakfast, amazing.
Good call.
See, a cereal soup. If they are ranked in the top 12, Notre Dame gets automatically in and wouldn't be bumped out for a G6 team like they did last year. That's a pass. I think if Notre Dame's in the top 12, they earned it, especially with our upcoming schedule. If it's socialism and welfare for college football, why do teams like Ohio State support it? They don't have to. They're in no matter what. Well, I don't know that Ohio State supports it or doesn't support it. The Big Ten knows it needs more than 2 teams to be competitive every year. That's the hard part. So David Persons, a real TCU fan. A 2014 playoff
2014 autocorrect got him.
is nothing but a mediocre cash grab. Totally agree. Totally agree. There it is. Totally agree.
Yeah.
100%. I agree with that. It is a cash grab. Undoubtedly. But, Boyd Lake, the SEO king of America. Sark was specifically referencing Texas Tech's schedule, which is admittedly light. Truth. He says, and yes, SEO is the way. Yes, it is. Search engine optimization, pitches. Event Horizon, Monty, automatic qualifiers help get rid of the human committee. That's the objective for me. Okay, 4 conference champions. Done. Done. That's it. Nothing, right? 4 automatic qualifiers. I'm down. If you win your conference, P4 conference championship game, you're in. Next. But you don't want to play conference championship games because it's unfair. Please. Chewy Gonzalez. Hey, Monty. Hey, Chewy. So what if this 2014 playoff is socialism? The NFL is somewhat socialist with revenue sharing and salary cap. You're not wrong.
Well, how is that? Hold on. How is that socialism, bro?
Big market teams give little market teams money.
Yeah, but the problem is that in that system, see, this is the difference. In the NFL, it's not that the big team is cutting the little team a check. They're all in agreement and working together to push the sport forward. And so they share a pool of money.
Yeah, Rico.
Right? One big
pot.
And that's the difference in the NFL model. So I disagree that that's socialism to the smaller market teams, because the reality is the smaller market teams aren't getting and don't have the kind of relationships that the bigger market squads that are in the playoffs constantly. Right. They don't have that kind of leverage, dude. They don't have that kind of power. They're not getting all those branding deals. And so, yeah, do they get a piece of the pie? Yeah, but that's the agreement the league has in place. Yes. The difference is in college football that Big Ten wants 8 AQs or whatever. They want socialism because they want their mediocre ass mid-level teams to be able to get some extra money because there's such a big conference at this point. And that's the issue.
Yeah, totally agree. 12 teams without G6 would work perfect. Done.
Agreed. I completely agreed. No G6, done. 12 teams, that's it.
Keep Rich Rod out. AQs for top 2 in each. Come on, that's funny. AQ for top 2 in each P4. No. 8 at large? 16? No, stop. Dude, you understand that putting the top 2 in devalues a conference championship game?
Paul didn't go in the hoop.
Why a free pass? Why, is that the only way Oak State gets in? Is that your concern? I said Oak State gets in. That's your concern? Nick D. In my opinion, there should be no reason why a P4 team plays 3 G6 schools in one season, or in Indiana's case, 4. Power 4 should only play Power 4. Ding.
Agreed.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Tom, Dean, James, if you give 2 AQs per conference, what's the point of a conference championship game? There isn't one. Conference championship game, the winner gets a higher seed. So I'm just telling you, there's no reason to give more than 1 AQ, if any. I'm in favor of none. 12 teams, no AQs. Because we're getting rid of the conference championship game. I don't think there's any question about that. We are getting rid of the conference championship game,
which I think is terrible.
Yeah. There's no doubt about that. But that's a different
terrible.
ACC has to be worried about things. They have had 2 years where their conference champ did not get into the playoffs. We'll have a normal qualification and this won't happen. Right? Let's just do 4 teams where if you win your conference, you're in. Stop the bullshit. Stop it. Who was the blonde lady who used to yell and scream about stop the madness? You remember that? Like, wasn't it like a weight loss thing or something? And she'd be on TV doing calisthenics in like a leotard. I mean, listen, I'm a big fan of bodysuits like anybody that's snapping the crotch. Yes. Stop the madness. I just dated myself so horribly. Oh my God. You guys remember when you could wake up in the morning and there'd be like
Susan Powter.
Yes, Susan Powder. That's right. That's right. But you guys
And
remember
the catchphrase was "Stop the insanity."
Stop the insanity.
Yeah.
You could wake up and you could watch people working out on TV. There was, I can't remember Buddy's name. He was like Greek or whatever. He had a huge mullet and dude would just be pounding weights,
just so
doing
you can
yoga.
Pound town.
He'd have on like Buddy was in great shape, hairy chested Greek guy.
Do you even lift?
He'd have all these hot chicks working out with him. Who was that? Remember the Thigh Master lady?
Thigh Master lady.
Oh man, dude. Suzanne Summers, the late Suzanne Summers. God. Man, I cannot tell you how many inches I added to my forearm thinking about Suzanne Summers as a kid. Jack Tripper, what a prick. Good Lord. Jake does not get any of those references.
Nope.
None.
Way before my time, bro.
Three's Company. Chewy, adding teams is about trying to make more money. Thank you. I appreciate you said that out loud. Big is desperately trying to get every advantage they can while they are temporarily on top. Wow. Bro, I don't know how to break it to people. I think Ohio State is regularly the best team in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Every year, every week. Most talented, best team, it doesn't even matter. I don't know that there's another team in the Big Ten that you can say that about. My guess is Oregon, SC are going to be there. Who knows what Matt Campbell will do at Pet OU? I don't know. Marcus also pointed out that I say Pet OU and Epstein Island so easily now. Yes.
Yeah, it's just what they're called. Yeah.
It just rolls off, dude, because it's who they are.
Yep.
A playing game with Miami and Notre Dame. They already had playing games when Miami beat them during the season, but it was week 1.
Yeah, a lot of people felt like, hey, it would have been good for TV to have them play one more time.
I'm so disgusted by Notre Dame losing those 2 games. We did not have a case to get into the college football playoff. We had not earned it.
It's empty.
We had not earned it. Like those of us that live in the PNW, we haven't earned sunshine or happiness.
Whoa, is this the Summerall take? We hadn't earned anything yet? All right. We gotta earn the Gatorhead.
God, you love
I didn't
that
know.
guy.
I didn't know that you were going full Summerall now, dude. That's awesome, bro. Nice.
You pleasure yourself at the will of Summerall, don't you?
You got to earn it. You got to earn the logo, man. Like, we ain't earned it yet. We ain't earned a damn thing. Like, all we've got is our name. We're going to put our freaking name on every day. All right? And so to wear the Florida Gator logo, to wear the Gators across your helmet and script, or to wear the Gator head, man, you got to earn that.
Stay home.
Yeah. Florida blue looks good on you, bro. Nice job.
David
Nice.
Goggins.
Yeah, dude.
Stay hard. Stay hard.
Your Summerall thing is ridiculous. Like, you love that guy so much.
Just need him to win some ball games now.
I'm going to say, before I play Marcus, look at the chain that Marcus Freeman is wearing. When he makes these incredible points, and Buddy can afford a chain, but he can't afford a barber.
I still think every Saturday matters. And we approach it as every Saturday matters. What changes now is, okay, your mindset, maybe depending on the outcome of that previous Saturday. Whereas probably when I played, if you lost a game, for sure, if you lost 2, you knew that, okay, we got 12 games in a bowl game. And that's what we got. Well, now it's like, okay, guys, we might have lost a game. We still understand what lies ahead, what we can achieve, but this Saturday matters, right? And so I think the ability to have that hope for the postseason is important, but the only way to get to that point is to take care of this Saturday.
Win games. Win games and this conversation goes away. Win games. You can afford a $25,000 diamond tennis bracelet.
Monty, do your 111th, okay? One day at a time, one game at a time. Come on.
Yeah. Big Daddy Dallas, the big doesn't need advantages, Kenneth. Well, clearly they do. Clearly they do. Because you're a 2-team, sometimes 3-team league. And fat ass in Ann Arbor tried to pave the way for everybody but Ohio State. And thankfully, you guys figured it out. But please, the Big Ten is a welfare state. Brandon Butler, how about those Cavs? I sense it burn it down coming. Maybe Donnie and Larden were not the answer.
Oh, no. They're not going to burn it down, dude. Nope.
I think Donnie played exceptionally well.
They're not burning that down, dude. You know what they're going to do? They're going to double down on them being ass by going out and getting a bag from LA and putting the big three together.
Here
dude.
we go.
That's what they're going to do. I guarantee it. That's what they're doing.
Here we go.
100%.
Why, Jake? What, you were having such an average ass show. Why? I know, do
dude.
this?
And
why
this is what happens anytime the flag
now,
bearer,
now
Le
here we
Dad,
go.
or
Cap,
whoever,
Le Dad, Le Hairline,
Le GM, anytime he comes into the conversation,
Jake, he's just a kid from Akron, man.
I know.
He's just a kid from Akron.
I know. Put a statue out in front of what used to be Staples Center. I get it.
Now it is. I hope you guys are happy. It's pouring rain.
The sun shouldn't be a problem today.
Anyway, why do you need 16? You don't.
You don't.
You don't at all. 24 proves any doubt of who's the best. No, it doesn't. No, it does not. In no way, shape, or form.
You're a Big Ten fan. On one hand, you're saying the Big Ten's the best, but on another hand, you're advocating for 24. Why do you need 24 if you're the best conference, dude? Why do you need 24 if you're the deepest, best conference? Why don't you do 12 with, I would say no AQs, but if you have to have AQs, do conference championship games. Just do 12, keep it where it's at. Conference championship games, no G6. You shouldn't need, you should not need 24, my guy. And I appreciate you. And I love that you're here talking about this. It ain't personal, but I just think that Big Ten fan has a lot of hypocrisy in this right now.
I'll never understand it. I want to understand it. And I think it's very difficult to comprehend why the Big Ten needs so much welfare. You're the best league in college football. Remember, you just keep telling us that. Well, but okay, pick a side, dude. Then what are we talking about 16 for? And no, I think 24 is absolutely a disaster for college football. It's a disaster for college football. I just don't see any reason at all, under any circumstance, that you would go to 24 teams. What is the, and I'm open to this idea that I just don't know what I'm talking about. Monty don't know ball. Okay. What is the rationale other than socialism that you want to go to 24 teams? Because the Big Ten is pushing hard, lobbying for, and I understand it at the ACC and the Big 12 level. You need 24 desperately.
Yeah.
Desperately. You need 24. But at the Big Ten level, why do you need it? It's not like you're stuck with guys like Dave Aranda and Sonny Dykes. You're not stuck with mediocre ass head coaches who don't win football games.
But Monty, Jaden Craig.
Don't start. There is just as many great teams in the Big as there is in the SEC.
And why do you need AQs? If there's just as many great teams, why do you need AQs?
The numbers do not lie. The numbers don't lie. You can't go back and look at the welfare state of your schedule. Dude, how many your schedule making sucks. Indiana, bro, don't know. You know that's not true. You know that's not true. Brandon Butler, Danny Ainge was right. Donnie and Rudy were not it. I think Donovan Mitchell had a really good run for the Cavs this year. was dominant at times. I love Don. I'm a huge Donovan Mitchell guy.
Yeah.
I think he played exceptionally well. Their bigs do not give them offense.
No.
And I think when you start looking at, and fat ass isn't even the issue, right? We can sit here and go round and round about what Tubby gave them. And of course, I mean, Larden.
Tubby.
We can go round and round about what Chubbs did or didn't
Husky.
do. You know, that's not nice, Jake. Anyway, fact of the matter is that I look at a guy like Evan Mobley. How is he not 20 and 10 every night? How is he not? He plays inside, he plays outside. How is he not? If he'd have given you more on a regular basis, you can't play 40 minutes and only be 15 and 14 with his build and skill set. You can't. They win. They beat Detroit, right? Like if you look at the Detroit series and you look at the games where he really played well, they win comfortably. The games where he has 9 points and 1 rebound in 36 minutes, they lose 107-97. Donovan Mitchell's not the problem in Cleveland. He's not. And I will still maintain he should be a New York Knick. He's not. If you switched Donovan Mitchell and Josh Hart, how much better are the Knicks? I think better. They are significantly better.
I think here's the problem, and I think this is what the Knicks finally figured out, is that Josh Hart clearly is not as good as Donovan Mitchell. That's not really even a conversation. I think we all agree on that. I think, though, what NBA teams run into when they have too many stars on the roster is ball distribution issues and actually running an offense. Because the reality is that great NBA offenses have clear-cut defined roles in the offense, right? So you've got, like for the Knicks, as an example, Brunson is your, hey, we need points quickly, go give it to him, and he's going to go get the buckets guy, right? I mean, that's what he does for you. When you don't need him,
pick and switch on the fat ass and let's go about our business.
Yeah, that's what Brunson does. But when you're flowing, you notice Brunson doesn't play nearly as much one-on-one ball, right? Brunson is playing pick and roll. He's distributing. He's getting his teammates involved. So I just think that the Knicks have this thing where they have finally figured out that flow in their offense, which is great. And it's allowed them to dominate teams at times, just like last night. I mean, you have the Cavs literally quitting on the floor last night. That's how demoralized they were. So I don't think that it's Donovan's fault per se with the Cavs. But I do think and would agree that Mobley is a big problem for them. Mobley either needs to be a guy that's going to get physical and get downhill and get to the line and help you that way, or he needs to he's got to find a way to contribute at a higher level. And that's why I say, all jokes aside about LeBron, I think, you know, for Donovan Mitchell, you obviously have an extension conversation coming up here this summer. You know, you're either going to choose to stay and play with Larden and Braun, or you're gonna leave. And if I'm Donovan Mitchell, if LeBron James truly is interested in coming back to Cleveland and end his career, is that not the best chance you've had to go and win a championship? Like you, LeBron, and Harden, and you know, and then you figure it out.
Could you imagine Scotty Barnes, Paolo Banchero, instead of Evan Mobley?
Yeah.
Come on. That's my point. But you only have so much money. You know. Muldoon, I grew up a Knicks fan, but I struggle to watch this brand of NBA consistently. It is Oklahoma City is destroying this league. You have 7 players. There was a reel going around the other day. Legitimately, 7 Thunder players flopping. Legit. And SGA, just in that last game, I think 6 fouls were called when he was not touched. There was no physical contact. It's incredible to me that's the kind of, and then you get the Knicks and Cavs just punching each other in the face with no whistles. You have NBA officials saying that guys are stepping on the sideline when there's clearly nobody stepping on the sideline. You're getting a backcourt violation against San Antonio the other night, and he's not even close to in the backcourt. Yet they're calling a backcourt violation where you step over the center line.
Yeah.
Like you're telling me we're supposed to believe it's legit. Come on. Big Blue Horses. Cavs are a score first, defense third team. They are Bill Murray and Space Jam. They don't play D. Well, there's some to that. There's some. They never were able to answer the Knicks switching Brunson onto fat ass one-on-one. They were never able to.
And then I love that the Cavs head coach is like, yeah, man, Larden's a great defender. We trust him. He's one of the best defenders on our team, even though
what else
he's
is
being
he
cooked by
supposed
Brunson.
to say, though?
Well, I mean, at some point you got to say like, yeah, James is a good enough defender, but we gotta do more to slow Brunson down. I mean, you can't have like James Harden after the game saying, well, we were the better team analytically, but clearly not the better team in the series. Bro, you got swept by the Knicks.
You can't
dude.
go 1 for 13 in your final 2 games from 3, fat ass, and call yourself competitive.
Yeah, it's just not good enough. And again, I'm surprised, I am, that we're saying this about the Cavs and not the Knicks, because typically this would be where the Knicks flopped and, didn't do what they were supposed to do these past several years. But they've finally broken through. So now they're going to the finals. And I do think they lose to either one of those 2 teams that gets there for sure. But we'll see. We'll see. I really hope it's not OKC, but, somehow I think that'll happen.
Jalen Brunson is irritatingly good.
Yeah.
Bro, he is really good. At some point, you'd think James Harden would get tired of the jokes and actually not choke in the playoffs.
It is what's defining his legacy. There's no question about it.
Rock and rant. The Knicks offense right now is just amazing to watch. I hate Karl Anthony Towns for a lot of reasons. But dude, when he's good and when OG's balling, that's another guy. OG Anunoby just fits their personality really well.
Yep.
Right? Like it is so, you look at the overtime game where they just got absolutely annihilated in the second and third quarter. The Knicks did. Was that game 1? Something like that. And you start looking at some of the plays that OG Anunoby made that will never show up. The tip balls, the save out of bounds. And then I think in that game, he goes like 2 for 8 from 3 or something stupid. And one of the 3-pointers he hit was so unbelievably clutch. Like it's OG Anunoby's that guy, right? He's just that guy. It is what it is. Oklahoma State fan James. What about this? Oh boy. We keep it at 12 if we get one ACC versus Big 10, SEC versus Big 12 non-con game per team. So the ACC and the Big 12 can prove that no, socialism.
Bro, why is this complicated?
I don't know why you got to try so hard with it. We don't need to hand them opportunities. They need to schedule up their non-con and win games.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And this is, and I think it was 3 weeks ago we talked about this SEC Big 10 scheduling agreement that the Big 10 wanted the majority of the games to be home games because they don't, it's so, I think Greg Sankey said this. Do you really want to go on the road to play an SEC team? Do you want to go to Death Valley, which is LSU? There's only one. You want to go play a night game at LSU? Hell, with neck light at Florida, do you want to go play in the swamp? I don't want to. Do you want even you go look at Texas. You want to go to DKR for a big game? I don't. Do you want to go to Tuscaloosa? Do you like the venues? Even Jordan Hare's a tough place to play when it's lit. But is there anybody that's really worried about going to Hard Rock? I don't want to play Miami at home under any circumstance. I don't care where their home is, but Hard Rock's not intimidating. Right? Like, because I think if you look at the best teams across the country, I don't want to go to Notre Dame Stadium and play the Irish.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go play Michigan at the Big House, even though I don't think it's loud and it's not intimidating. Do you want to go to the Shoe and play a big game against that Ohio State team? Fuck no, you don't. Why would you want to do that? Oh, because if you win, and if you believe you're going to go there and win, then all of a sudden you're in a different hemisphere.
Oh.
Yeah.
Risk versus reward quotient.
Exactly right. And I think that's what it's about. You know, I'd rather watch the College World Series than the NBA playoffs. Yeah, I'm not there. I'm not that guy. The NBA needs a new villain, and we have them with OKC, who I hate with every fiber of my being. And I don't think they're a villain. I don't think people hate OKC. It's getting there. The flopping stuff with SGA is outrageous.
Listen, being a villain in the NBA is not what OKC is doing. OKC and the officials are just ruining the game. Being a villain in the NBA is what Dylan Brooks does with LeBron as an example.
Right,
or
but now that Dylan Brooks is averaging, 25 points a game?
Mm-hmm.
Or something. What did he average?
Yeah, he had a much better year.
Right? Like he I want to say, I could be wrong. I think in the playoffs, didn't he average 26 points a game or something stupid like that? Yeah, 26 points a game. In the playoffs, Dylan Brooks. Right? Like, you don't want him on your team because, wow, what a dick. But if you're going to give me 26 points in the playoffs, somehow I think you're going to find you're going to be a villain. He is Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
He is this era's version of that. But he's much more skilled. But you look at guys like, the problem is Victor Wembanyama is never going to be a villain. You're indifferent about Victor Wembanyama because he doesn't speak. And when he does speak, you can't understand what he's saying.
Yeah, I'm more interested in who's playing Victor Wembanyama because I want to see what they're going to do about it.
Yeah, and he's not the king of floppers. He's not. Main reason I stopped watching basketball, I think a lot of people are. Muldoon, I completely agree. NBA is a tough watch these days. And you have teams tanking like the Jazz who then are going to. Did you guys hear this Darren Peterson thing? Remember all the Darren Peterson talk? Before I play the bite, Jake, do you believe him?
I don't necessarily believe that he just woke up one day and all of a sudden the cramps are gone and that it was out of his control and he was just a victim of circumstance. Because I feel like that's what's inferred a little bit is like, hey, I didn't know how bad this was. Like, this was kind of crazy. And I think what's difficult is that, again, it's this classic situation of it looks bad either way. Okay, if you did know what it was and you were struggling to do something about it, that speaks to your inability to solve problems as a basketball player to make yourself available. 1. 2, if you didn't know what it's about and you truly were a victim of it, and you just had no idea, then that looks pretty bad on you as well, because at that point, then it's like you can't even identify a problem. You can't even, you can't even know where to start. And that's where I just feel like Darren Peterson is the next Ben Simmons again in the draft. Like, talented player, can really shoot it, shot it really well at the combine. Someone's going to pay him, but he's going to be hurt all the time. And that's what would scare me off of Darren Peterson.
And I don't believe him. He doesn't come across as genuine to me at all.
Just the injuries and the stuff like that had me out of games.
And what was the feeling like?
Everything in my body just started to lock up. At first, I thought it was just like a normal cramp that you get as a hooper, but then it just got worse. And that's when I got to the training table was when I was saying, like, we got to call 911.
Can you describe the pain? What was it like?
Everybody's caught like a cramp in their calf or something in the middle of the night, but my whole body. So I'm laying on the training table just not able to move. I felt like I was going to die until that day.
Did it scare you?
Yeah, for sure. It traumatized me. Anytime I felt anything else, no matter how much I told myself it wasn't going to happen, the brain works its own way.
So you feel like now there have been no issues?
No issues at all. I think it's definitely past me now.
I don't believe you. I don't believe him. Okay, let's take him at face value. Let's say that good old DP had full body cramps, didn't have enough Pedialyte in the system. Are you drafting him number 2? I don't think you're doing that.
Paul didn't go in the hoop.
Okay, let's say he's not telling the truth and this is an excuse. Are you drafting him number 2? I'm not doing that.
Paul didn't go in the hoop.
I don't know. He doesn't. Maybe he's just that personality where he doesn't come across as genuine, and maybe I'm just being a red ass about it. Fine. But,
yeah, I mean, I don't look. I just think you can't trust him. That's the problem. You can't trust what he's saying or like how he's going about it or like what it looks like. You know, you don't know if it's actually a cramp or if he's just not trying to play that tonight. Like that's the issue for don't want to play Derson is that you just have no idea what the situation is.
Yeah. Surely the training staff put him on a regimen to fix it. Yeah, crystal light packets, dude. Can you imagine, Jake, you're going to make it over there? Can you imagine a guy that, dude, it's the Monday after a 4-day holiday weekend?
Yeah. And got the sniffles. So we're grinding.
You're sick?
A little head cold.
You're so soft.
I know. Call me don't want to play Derson.
You're so soft. How's the weather been?
I mean, it was warm Friday and Saturday, but just picked it up Sunday morning. Don't know where, don't know how. Didn't see anybody I don't usually see.
Yeah, my wife has been hacking up a kaleidoscope of awesomeness. So,
yeah,
knock on wood, trying not to be that guy. No sympathy for millionaire college players who don't want to play. I don't know that I'd say he doesn't want to play. Jake looks like he was getting ready to throw chunks for a split second there. Yeah, that was a hard yawn.
It ain't like that, bro. It's just that one where it's a head cold, man. It's a sinus thing. You deal with it. It's a 3 or 4 day, grind it out kind of deal, and then you're fine. But it's just unfortunate timing. I really wish I would have woke up Friday with it. Wake up Friday with it, be good by Tuesday. But of course, that's not the case. Had to wake up Sunday with it. And I knew it too. I literally said it. I woke up and I said it out loud. I was like, dude, don't start with me. Don't start with me. And what did I do on Sunday? And this is what Monty's beaten me over the head with for like years of my life. Hey, the minute you even sniff that you're getting sick, you get on that. So I did, and I'm like, all right, hey, I'm way ahead of it this time. I got on the Dayquil, I got on the vitamin C, I'm smashing it, like we're good, like I'm okay. And and you just work through it. You just grind it out and you work through it and do the best you can. But yeah, make no mistake about it, dude. Nasally, just grinding through it. So what do you do?
You're soft. You know what you do? You take magnesium. Like Darren Peterson. His doctor's in the chat now. Don't you love how Dr. James White, Dr. James White to the cramp unit, Dr. James White to the cramp unit. James was like, oh, I bet they put him on magnesium.
Hey, we got don't want to play Derson sitting on our table over here, James. Yeah. Could you take out that MDiv and work something out with him?
Yeah, get some glycinate, whatever. Yeah. Get it in here, put it in him.
Yeah, get it in there. This is an internal issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's internal. He's got cramps in his feet.
Yeah.
Pause, bro. Pause.
Get his feet above his head.
I bet they put Peterson on magnesium supplements. I have to take it, but I only get cramps in my feet, not whole body cramps. You get colon cramps. You're awesome, dude. That's so good. How did Bill Self not go mental with Peterson? My God, it had to be mad.
Had to be, dude.
So you guys believe that he faked that whole thing?
I think that I think I'm not saying he faked the whole thing. I think
It just
he
wasn't real, Monty.
exaggerated.
I don't think he faked it, but I don't think it was real.
You know, like
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
you saying you're not going to play because you're scared to get cramps is pretty rough, dude. Like, go out there and die on the floor and then come out of the game.
You got to do this for your teammates, DP.
Yeah,
You can leave, or you can stay and shut up and act like an adult.
yeah. Like, stop playing games, dude. Get your ass on the floor, knock it down. Like, you know those times when we would see him warm up and he looks totally fine. Let me get this right. Don't want to play Derson. Totally fine to suit up and put the Jayhawk uni on, but
Rock chalk.
as soon as it's time to get it going and the whistle blows, now we got to sit on the bench with Pedialyte. And I'm tired of it, dude.
No, magnesium.
Oh, magnesium. Sorry.
Magnesium.
My fault, dude. I'm not a doctor. Sorry.
You know, and stuff. When I get a cold, I go freaking scorched earth taking stuff.
Having fun is the name of the game.
Thankfully, now I have to believe I'm going to catch some of the HIV that my wife has had. Because bless her heart, when my wife gets sick, it's almost always a lung upper respiratory issue because she has, issues with her lungs, the asthmatic and stuff. But she always winds up like coughing and it's brutal.
Yeah.
But she does a great job. Like she always covers her mouth when she coughs, like unbelievable. But there's no way to avoid it. And the bigger issue is like, I do not now react well to vitamin C supplements.
What does that mean?
I get like I'll get a rash. Like I'll get little spots or like I used to take emergency. If my wife got sick, I'd start pounding emergency like I am Buddy the porn star. Like, dude,
the standard play is emergency packet with Dayquil. That's the standard play.
Yes. No, can't do that anymore.
When did you make this connection? I haven't heard about this.
Like last fall when we moved to Seattle.
Oh,
I was taking it. I was taking emergency and I think I talked about this on the show. Like I was getting a rash on my upper body.
Well, I remember talking about the rash, but I didn't realize that was connected to vitamin C. I
we figured out.
You were saying that it was like laundry detergent issues.
Well, that's what I thought. I don't know, but I think it was vitamin C because then I was taking a supplement. I don't remember what the supplement was. It was something with vitamin C, D and C together. Vitamin D and C together. And sure as shit, dude, I started getting a skin rash again. So I stopped taking that. No more skin rash. So I've pretty much narrowed it down to like vitamin C. There's something in my system. And I get a lot of vitamin C already because I eat a ton of berries and fruit and, whatnot. But it just is, I'm a big believer in that. Like, and we've been this weekend, we were super active. I played 2 rounds of golf. By the way, let's go. Showed up on Sunday. We got home. We went to Gold Mountain in Bremerton and played golf. Got home Sunday and there was a box from my folks at TaylorMade. 4 boxes or 3 boxes? 3 boxes of my favorite golf ball, TP5X picks. Dude, they're amazing. They're amazing. I love them. I'm telling you, if you watched any of my shorts this weekend, the spin around the green, I am driving the golf ball a mile, dude. And I put a lot of it into the golf ball because I'm playing TaylorMade TP5X pretty much exclusively. The low spin that I get, the spin rate is so much lower. And the ball's just going a mile. Yeah. Now, if I could play wedges, my inside 100 game this weekend was horrendous. It was so bad. But, down 25 pounds since December, no pills. I tried something completely different. Life stress works like a charm. Dude, the level of stress we all have in our lives is killing us. It's absolutely killing us. It sounds like the kid had rhabdo, overload of creatine creating cramps. The kid is 18. My question is, what's the training staff doing at Kansas to try and figure it out? That's what I'm saying.
Oh, what a loser.
Dude, and I'm a huge creatine believer. And there is some people who believe that creatine creates more cramps.
Mm-hmm.
But
it only creates more cramps if you're not hydrating correctly. That's the problem. You take the creatine, but you don't hydrate correctly. So what happens? Your muscles tense up. That's the problem. I gotta drink more water.
I drink about 7 to 10 grams of creatine every day.
Dude, I'm saying he's got to drink more water as a basketball player. You understand how much basketball players sweat out? Like their cycle is much faster. So like if you drink, let's say 60 ounces of water before practice, you're probably sweating out a good chunk of that, during practice, let alone a game. So that's why I just think that there's clearly an issue in his process, and that's why I would stay away from him. I just wouldn't. I have no problem if someone else takes him and he hits, great, but I'm not taking that risk.
Yeah, I'm not drafted Darren Peterson.
Yeah,
I'm not. Since I do not go out and the wife basically keeps me locked up in the man cave, the colds have decreased a great deal. I'm constantly out. I'm studying for a real estate exam right now. And it is almost, it's tough for me to sit around the house. Like it has been one of the great things about living in Seattle is all we do is walk. We walk everywhere we go. Like it's awesome. It's tough for me to sit around and do nothing. Like it is, oof. Although I feel bad. We went so you have to go to Bremerton from Seattle. We took a ferry. It was cool. Drove the Beamer onto a ferry. It was amazing. We were gone like almost 12 hours. Came home and the dog's limping around now. And I felt bad. I'm a bad dog parent. The Big Ten doesn't want to win it on the field. They've won the last 3 years in a row. No, they've won 2 championships in a row. And I didn't say they don't want to win it on the field. What I said was they know that they need, and this is where everybody loses their mind about what I said about 8 AQs. And you can have this argument all day long. The bottom line is the Big Ten wants as many free passes as they can get into the college football playoff. And it is what is separating the Big Ten and the SEC from making a college football playoff deal. Simple as that. I don't see a need to go past 12 because I don't see a need to put teams like Minnesota and Wisconsin and Rutgers and Iowa and the mid-table teams, the USCs of the world, the Illinois of the world. Does Illinois as a 3-loss team belong in the college football playoff? No, they don't. Does any 3-loss team belong in the college football playoff? No, they don't. They do not. Quit speaking out of your ass, Kenneth. The days of SEC dominance are over. They're not. They're not over. I'm just telling you, you can sit here and you can try to pretend. An Ohio State fan is particularly guilty of this. So it must be all of thee are amazing. No, it's not. No, it is not. Ohio State has been individually dominant. Indiana, built on older players and a soft-ass schedule, has been individually dominant. Michigan has not been dominant. And outside of those two, who's been dominant in that league lately? Are you telling me Oregon's been dominant? Oregon has not been dominant. Oregon's been a disappointment. How do you figure? And I'm not even going to have this discussion. It's ridiculous. As much as I love my friends in Columbus, you guys are delusional about the depth of the Big Ten. You're delusional. It is not real, man. It's a fugazi. It's not fucking real, man. Right? Like it's not. It's not you. That's not based in reality. That the Big Ten is the dominant football brand, or no, it's not. Yeah. Anyway, I say keep it at 12 and make the 12th spot a playing game. I think playing games are coming no matter what. No matter what. Guys, I'm fine with 12. We don't need 16, but if we're going to add more teams, bring it to 24. I'm not for adding teams at all. 16 makes zero sense.
Yeah, I just think that the 16 makes zero sense, and you're either for expansion or not. Like, there's no in between, right? Like, you're either the stick at 12, 1 AQ per power conference or whatever, or everybody's involved 24, go crazy with it. That's the dividing line.
Yeah, I don't. No. Rock and rant. It's more likely, though, that the Big Ten will increasingly have more teams compete than as much of the SEC can stay on top, with even more degree of competition from other programs outside of the SEC. That's probably more likely, but that doesn't mean it's reality now. The truth be told, the Big Ten has not been deep or good enough for years. Big Ten basketball, this is the argument. Oh, Big Ten basketball's back. It is? You had Michigan, who was truly uniquely dominant, and now Big Ten basketball is back? No, it's not. You can't just have it. Anyway, it's fine. It's fine. Hey, you know what? It's tough to be as smart as I am and have to deal with stupid people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you think after dealing with Jake for all these years, I'd be used to it?
You take you a deuce. You don't sit there and look at it. You flush it and move on.
All right. Let's hear from Greg Sankey a little bit about these arguments. In terms of going to 16 or 24, Greg Sankey says you got to be careful.
And we've used examples from professional sports. When professional sports have added to their postseason, it's always been a small adjustment. 4 to 12 was monumental, but I think it was justifiable. And you want to be careful about how far you go. And that's understanding the competitive impacts. And maybe you bring more teams into the conversation. And you make a judgment, because that's what I think you'd have to do, that, hey, a game that may not have that same type of leverage, if you will, or that same type of value because both teams could be in, that's minimal, but the ability to bring more teams into the conversation that would have been out creates value in the regular season.
Win games, right? And remember what Lane Kiffin said last week about this.
I think it's set up in a good way for the top heavy teams there right now. I think now, and it's going to get better. We're going to 9 games, and our bottom is harder than theirs. Okay, and our bottom stadiums, are harder than theirs. So we're going to beat each other up more, and they're going to sit up there and have 2-3 hard games a year, and so their top teams and our top teams, when they go to the playoffs, okay, they're in better shape. Mm-hmm. That stuff matters. It's why, I've always been a proponent to stay at 8 games and let us make our own, whoever we want to play in non-conference. Don't tell us who we have to play.
Right.
And we would do the model of the last place I was just at. Look at we went 20-0 in non-conference regular season games at Ole Miss. 20-0. We didn't play any of them big openers. This place went, 4-year span, lost 3 or 4 openers.
Yeah, they played hard games at the openers.
So you play, that's so great, whatever. Well, you don't get rewarded for it because it's not worth it enough in the strength. But also, that schedule where half your games you don't have to get up for, it's a mental toll that you got to play when you're getting up for. Plus, also, man, your good players are out by the fourth quarter, so your play count at the end of the year is less. Mm-hmm. One of the really good teams there rested a couple of their good players in games in conference games at the end of the year.
How is he wrong?
He's not.
Isn't that the essence of exactly what we're talking about? You're a deeper league in the SEC. Your home field advantage is better. So what does the Big Ten want? The Big Ten wants a bunch of automatic qualifiers. The SEC wants none. The Big Ten wants to have a scheduling agreement where the majority of the games are played in Big Ten stadiums. The SEC won't do that. The SEC and the ACC are talking about expanding their partnership scheduling wise. Notre Dame is expanding its partnership with both the Big Ten and the SEC. But look at USC. USC in the Big Ten drops Notre Dame because they don't want to have to travel to South Bend in October. They want to play that game in Los Angeles 2 out of 3 years. Notre Dame said no.
why would anybody bend the knee to the Big Ten on stuff like this?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's a great question. No reason to.
Because I really don't think that you would do that. And then I go back to what Joel Klatt said, which is pretty much what I've been saying for months now.
We just have inflation in college football. Too much money chasing too few goods. There's too many teams investing at a high level, chasing too few spots of success. And so what does that do? What does inflation do? And we've seen it in our country, right? I mean, I was an economics major, so forgive me for, economics analogy. It's hollowed out the middle class. It's much more difficult to define yourself as successful in the middle class because why? Because too many dollars are chasing too few goods. You're spending a lot more at the grocery store for the exact same bag of groceries. Well, that's exactly what's going on now in the middle class, upper middle class in college football. So who am I talking about? It's Iowa. It's Michigan State. It's South Carolina. It could be Tennessee at times. It can be a lot of programs. It can be Kansas State. It can be Iowa State. It can be Utah. It can be BYU. There are so many programs that used to have the ability to get to an upper tier bowl game, and that tier has been hollowed out.
I mean, plain and simple. Plain and simple. It has been hollowed out. And
Yes.
I honestly don't know how you fix it. I really don't know how
I
you
think
fix
the exclusivity piece is what fixes it. And that's why, I don't know, dude. I think that, look, it's hard. It's clearly what we're seeing with Big Ten fans. It's hard to have a conversation with Big Ten folks about depth of conference and quality and all that. Okay, Big Ten will forever defend itself and disagree. Okay, cool. But I think what you can't get away from, just with the health of the sport, is anytime you have more teams competing for the same thing, I don't think the exclusivity of that is going up. It's getting watered down. Like we need to continue to have a situation play out where you have the best teams competing for a national championship. And no matter what you say about last year, I do think that, again, regardless of my thoughts on the SEC, like Miami and Indiana showed that they were the two best teams in the CFP. They figured it out. They won games they shouldn't have won. You did beat Ole Miss. Ole Miss didn't beat you. Yeah. So I don't care what happened with Lane, dude. It is what it is, man. Players are on the field. You got to try to win a ball game. So I think that it's a cautionary tale to schools, man. At some point, schools need to say, all right, we need to stop flipping head coaches constantly. We need to actually make an investment, in someone long-term and allow them to build a pipeline, because that's what all the best schools are doing. Why is Ohio State constantly the best team in college football? They haven't changed head coaches in how long? Dude's got a process. He's got a pipeline. Bro probably knows who his quarterback is in like 2040 at this point. He's got it so dialed in. Like it's the guy understands it. So I just think that's what you have to have.
That's my argument of like, why not just model yourself after Ohio State?
Yeah. Just follow the blueprint.
It's because it's not that difficult. If you have a coach who, again, hire the right coordinators. It's so critically important. Get guys with big game coordinating experience. And don't even get me started. At this point, all I want to do is just choose one journey and freaking stay on the damn road. It doesn't matter whether I like it or don't like it. 16, 12, or 24, settle and move forward. I'm tired of talking about it.
Agreed.
I am tired of talking about it. Brandon Butler, the reason they want the AQs is that they don't want 12 of 16 SEC teams making the playoff. And the SEC just isn't scared of that. They're not worried about that. I agree 100%. The scheduling sucks, drives me nuts. We shouldn't be playing Grambling, Ohio State, and Akron. Games like that need to be removed immediately. I agree with that. Brandon, you're speaking out of your back door, bro. There aren't 12 great SEC teams. Okay. Nobody said they had to be 12 great teams. What he said was 12 of 16 teams taking those spots, which I think would very likely happen. If you add no AQs, I think you'd have 8 of 12 teams from the SEC. And I think you would have the Big 12 and the ACC left out on a regular basis.
Right.
Which I have no problem with. No problem whatsoever. on one hand, the guys in the SEC make some good points, but I'm really just overhearing them crying. When games on the field, when you play in the playoff, I totally agree. Winning matters. Winning absolutely matters. Ryan Duffy, just like the NCAA tournament, you can have 78 teams, but the Elite Eight and the Final Four is going to almost entirely one of the 10 elite teams that had a chance to win the title to begin with. It's a cash grab. It's a cash grab, period. I think you got to have the right AD and GM in sports. The guy who knows when to put the next voice in the room. Switching coaches every 2 years makes it impossible to build a culture.
Correct.
And then sticking with guys like Sonny Dykes and Dave Aranda, huge mistakes. Huge mistakes. I mean, listen, say to just model yourself after Ohio State, which is essentially the number one biggest revenue brand in college football, is a little bit of a challenge to sell to others. What I mean is stability.
Yeah, behaviorally.
Not go do what Ohio State's doing. Believe in the guy you're hiring and let him have it for 10 years. Unless he is butter knives and baby mamas. Okay, then you got to go. Right? But if you're Kyle Whittingham, look at the run he had at Utah. If you are, again, Ryan Day, I think is a model. But if you're Kirby Smart or Nick Saban or like the greatest coaches ever, don't job hop. It's why Alabama's very good. Everybody wanted Kalen DeBoer fired. They didn't fire him, and I think he redeemed himself. Right? I look at Marcus Freeman. I look at Kalani Sitake. Nobody thought Kalani would have this kind of dominant run. But they don't make excuses. They just go and win games. Unless it's Texas Tech. You know.
Right.
Midweek Coug, hello. The only way to fix middle-class teams is to have a salary cap like the NFL, but it won't happen. I tend to agree.
Too many teams.
Yeah. Yeah. When do they stop adding more teams? 32?
Got me, bro.
Question.
Got me.
It's a really good question, and it's one that's very difficult to answer. Now people are asking me questions about golf balls.
Okay, what's the question?
Which I agree with. An acquaintance watching the show says, dude, you really think a golf ball matters? You're a sucker. Okay, I play enough golf to know. You're going through it, Jake. Was that a golf button right there?
Yep.
I'm sorry to hear that. Jake, does the golf ball you play matter?
It absolutely matters, and it matters more if you're a worse golfer. I think that ball technology is something that people don't talk about or understand. But the reality is the more your golf ball spins, the more shape it's going to take. So like if you have a swing that, let's say you're like me and you play baseball, you slice the ball a lot, you have to work hard not to slice the ball. You know, it's just something you always fight. Playing a ball that will spin less will help you keep the ball in play more often. You know, if you have a better swing, if you are a more consistent player, if you're a single digit handicap guy, I would say, yeah, play a spinnier ball because you know how to shape the ball and it will allow you to hit more of the shots you want to hit when you want to hit them. So the other thing is there's, you know, 1-piece ball, 2-piece ball, 3-piece ball. There are different styles of ball that, you know, play differently. So the ball matters. There's no question about it. And there's a reason that there are ball regulations on the tour. But I think in general, my philosophy with golf balls is until you're able to shoot low 80s consistently, until you can consistently keep it in play at that level, I would be buying crappy balls. I would be playing Noodle, Kirkland, and I play Noodle and Kirkland all the time. All the time. When I get the chance to play TP5s, I love playing them. It's a great ball. The TP5X is a great ball, no question about it. But on the regular, because I don't get to practice a ton, typically I'll play Kirkland or Noodle just because if I do lose one, I don't want to spend a half hour looking for it, feeling bad that I spent, you know, $4 on that ball or whatever.
Yeah, I am a big believer that the golf ball matters. The more it spins, it's going to be shorter and it is going to turn more. when it spins a lot. So now, having said that, would I pay $60? What is a Pro V1X? $62 a box, I think, right now. No, I would not pay that. No, I would not pay that. And I think it is. Having said that, I don't lose a lot of golf balls. When I'm driving the ball well, I almost never lose a ball because it's not like I'm shanking balls left and right. I get in trouble lately. I don't hit slices anymore. I pull the ball, which gets me in some trouble. But who knows? I think, trust me when I say when I play a TP5X, I have a lot more control of the ball. Well, I mean,
right.
Balls matter.
Yeah.
There's no doubt balls matter. Brandon Butler, a good ball makes a huge difference in the amount of money I lose on the course.
Well said.
Well said. The SEC would not have 12 teams in the 2014 playoff. The last 2 years, 2014, it would have 24. They still would have had only 6 each year. Yeah, but you can't. Yeah.
Only 6.
Only 6, which is fine. You know what, man? I'm not the guy that I'm a Notre Dame fan. All I care about is that one team gets in every year. And I care about ending racism, which is what Lane Kiffin's trying to do, which is not true. So Lane Kiffin last week talked about racism. Do we have that bite, Jake? I don't think we have that bite.
No, it was in Vanity Fair. It wasn't a video.
I thought he talked about it on that podcast, but it's fine. But Lane Kiffin essentially said in the Vanity Fair interview, players were telling him, I would come to Ole Miss, but my grandparents won't let me go to college in Oxford because of the Old South.
Mm-hmm.
Racism, bigotry. He said, I don't hear about that in Baton Rouge, which is where LSU is, where Lane is currently the coach. And now, allegedly, the SEC is considering censoring Lane publicly and perhaps fining him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe that he should be fined for what he said?
I mean, I don't think he should be fined for what he said. I think that, look, I think Lane Kiffin is an artist when it comes to the media. I think he's very good at manipulating media. I don't think, as I said last week, I absolutely don't think this was an accident. I think that this was targeted. And I think anyone who thinks the SEC is going to discipline Lane Kiffin, I think you're up in the night, because I think if you zoom out and you look at it at a conference level, Lane wasn't the only one talking last week. The Sark comments about basket weaving and the tech schedule. And, we had a lot of stuff go down last week in the SEC with these coaches. And I think what's interesting is that Lane is just the guy that you want to talk about a villain. Lane Kiffin's a villain in college football, right? To a lot of people. A lot of people don't like Lane because of the antics and the things he says in the offseason and the way he goes about it, yada, yada, yada. For me, I look at Lane and I say, there's only one result that's good enough, Lane. I don't care how you get it done. I don't care if you do it in a way where you're calling Ole Miss, racist, frankly, or whatever. I don't even care, honestly, that you doubled down on it yesterday when you said, quote, people don't read the actual words I used in the article. I said, a parent said, that's not me saying it is my opinion. You can even double down like that and try to defend yourself. But Lane, the truth is, and what you're not admitting there, is that you're essentially inferring that you left Ole Miss to go to LSU because you were struggling to recruit. That's what you're inferring. And you're saying the struggle to recruit was based in mom and dad and grandparents don't want their kid going to Oxford because of racism issues. That's essentially what you're inferring, Lane. So I wouldn't discipline him. I wouldn't ban him or something, but I'm also not going to sit here and say that Lane is like a victim or something. This guy knew what he was doing. He knows the game he's playing. He's absolutely playing the media game. And to which I say, if your head coach isn't playing the media game, then I don't really know that you have a head coach. That's the thing. You know, if I don't hear from your head coach regularly, the way I do with Lane Kiffin or Marcus Freeman, hell, even Joey, right? I mean, we hear from Joey on a pretty regular basis lately. So, you know, I just think that the guys who are talking a lot seem to dominate the narrative, and I think you should be talking more than not.
Yeah, you can't find him. I would never have talked about this. I don't know why you would have brought this up. I said this last week, I think, when we talked about why would you bring this up? What's the win here? I have no idea. I'm not saying only 6. I'm saying you guys said 12. That doesn't prove out. No, well, no. The SEC, I think I looked at this a month ago. In a 2014 playoff, I think on most years, they would have averaged 5 or 6 teams. In most years, they would have averaged 5 or 6 teams. I don't believe that any one conference is going to get 12 teams in like not one conference is getting half. The reason I call it socialism is because my belief is teams like mid-table Big Ten teams, most teams in the Big 12 and the ACC don't belong in the college football playoff, and they're going to get in. A team like Ole Miss belonged in the college football playoff, or Georgia, Bama, pick your aggrieved party, Florida State several years ago. Did Notre Dame belong in last year? No. If we had 24 teams, would they have gotten in? Yes. They were not one of the best teams in college football last year. Hate to break it to you. We lost the only 2 games that matter. Right? I mean, it just, you know.
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin, Louisiana, has just as big a racist history as Mississippi. Guy was just being a red ass. It was calculated. Yeah. It is what it is. It was, in my opinion, it was a stupid comment to make to Vanity Fair. Lane reminds me of another whiny, irritating coach from years ago, Steve Spurrier. Very much so.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Florida fan was saying when they were looking at hiring him, right?
Yeah, Spurrier's had a huge influence on Lane's life. Lane is a walking crisis PR legend. He rebuilt his reputation to become entertaining and then threw it away. That said, Golding is catching strays from all directions, breaking unwritten coaches rules. Well, he's done some stuff. For sure. Whoa. Lane versus Pete Golding need a committee to decide who's the bigger asshole. Oh, it's Pete Golding. There's no question about that. No question. For sure, I don't want any automatic qualifiers other than conference champions. I think we agree on that. No doubt about it. But, you know, listen, I think college football is horrendously broken. I know that's not groundbreaking. I know I'm not the first to say that. All this does is take the joy out of college football. That's all this does. It's what Bavacqua did for me last fall. When you're talking about the greatest 10-game run we've ever seen in the history. No, it's not.
Right.
Not close. It takes the joy out of the game.
Yeah, it's just becoming increasingly clear that money is driving actions in college athletics. That's the problem. And you know, it's interesting that it's the Big Ten driving this 24-team CFP concept when they're the ones that are allegedly making the most out of anybody, or at least that's what they tell you. You know, so I think that it's just funny. It's not good enough anymore for the also-rans of the Big Ten to just collect a paycheck and be terrible on the football field and serve the purpose. Now it's like, hey, well, we got to try to get in ourselves and make extra money and do X, Y, and Z. And that's kind of that's what I was saying earlier. Like, I'm trying to understand, like, when the Big Ten decided that it was a good idea to go full send on this 24-team model, because it is what you always end up bringing up, which is the unintended consequences of what they do in college football. Again, just like, you know, there's unintended consequences of being independent and being Notre Dame and the situation that they're in each season. There's also unintended consequences of being in the Big 12, a conference that's allegedly a power conference, but can't seem to get into the CFP with regularity. Just the same way there'd be consequences that are unintended with a 2014 playoff. So I don't know where, like, I don't understand how they're going to get this done. That I guess is what it comes down to. This narrative is going to continue to live on. I don't know when you would get this done. I don't know how you'd approve it, because I think everybody agrees that just because more teams be playing doesn't mean that actually helps the quality or helps you make more money. If nobody watches, you're not making more money. That's the problem.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Is this the same problem the NFL has? Because the Kelsey bros, interesting conversation about has the NFL lost the speciality of Sunday football?
Sunday is the day of football, right? Outside of going to church in the morning, if you're still religious and you do that, Sunday is like where so many games happen. And that's what you grow up in. You gear your entire week around watching football on Sunday.
Yeah.
It's an institution at this point, the NFL playing games on Sunday. With every day that we keep adding in there, we're getting away from that just a little bit. And I worry that I think the game got big. One of the reasons it got so popular and big was because all of the game, it was an event. Sunday is the NFL. And everybody set their week apart to tune into their games that were happening on Sunday. And you're watching kind of all of them now take place across Sunday Ticket, right? I worry that we're getting away from that just a little bit by building too many of this.
No, moving your scumbag owner to Hammond, Indiana is how you got away from Sunday being special. Is the NFL wrecking Sunday with Thursday night football and Monday night football? No. They want Thursday through Monday to be dominated by the NFL. It is. There is nothing more special to me than watching the Chicago Bears on Sunday. What ruins it is the same thing that's ruining college football. Big money. And the Bears to Hammond, Indiana is the perfect example of what's wrong with the NFL. That should just never be a conversation. That's like the Packers leaving Green Bay for Waukegan. Right? Like, should never even be a conversation. Yet here we are with another team. This is the NBA taking the Sonics out of Seattle. There's some really stupid things that happen. And that's the stuff that generally ruins it. I don't think Thursday night football has ruined my appreciation for the Bears game on Sunday. It doesn't make me less excited for the Bears to come here to Seattle next year. Cannot wait for that.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make me less like the Cubs. I follow the Cubs every day, even though we can't currently figure out that you have to hit the baseball to win games. You know.
Yeah.
But what ruins it is this big money BS. And I am in a down cycle for my sports teams. And it's all big money related. The Cubs wanted to pay off debt and expand Wrigley Field. Don't pay players. Chelsea Football Club, who the fuck knows? The Chicago Bears want to build a stadium in Hammond, Indiana. The Blackhawks don't want to spend money. Notre Dame, Marcus can't count past 10. You know, like I could go on and on. It's always about big money. It is always about big money. Now, we're going to win a national championship this year at Notre Dame, and this show will forever be unlistenable after that.
Right.
But no, I don't think the NFL is losing. Do you buy into this at all?
No, I don't. I buy into what he's saying, just not the reason why he's saying it. I think it's less about the days and more about how much we have to pay to watch the NFL. I think that the
big money,
the subscription model is what's killing it for fans. I think, Prime isn't the only reason I have the NFL, so that was already one I was paying for. But the ticket is becoming less and less worth it. I'm not sure that I'll have the ticket this year. Honestly, I think that the only way I could justify having the Sunday ticket again is if we were a show that did like heavy daily. Like if we did 3 hours on the NFL every day, then I could be like, all right, like,
bro, you need the tax write-off.
Yeah, but it's I guess, but when I think about it, like it's
you not like you're not a football fan. As much as I have ever believed, I just don't think you're a football fan.
Yeah,
I'm willing to pay $100 a game to watch the Bears play football, as long as they're in Chicago or Arlington Heights. I'll pay any amount.
Yeah, I'm definitely not there with it. No, I'm not there with it. Nope. Not willing, I'm not there with it. And I think what's difficult too is just I don't know. I remember as a kid, like I guess maybe it's because it's not DirecTV anymore and just the experience you had with Sunday Ticket on DirecTV, but like I guess I just don't. It just doesn't feel the same as it did. I can't quite put my thumb on it. Yes, there are different platforms. The streaming component definitely changes it, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem. It doesn't. I agree with Jason that it's not how it used to be in the sense that, like, I remember when I was in high school, man. When you were doing the show, you were on the radio. Like the guys would come over, watch football all day, pizza, whatever, get ready for the show. Like that was a thing. But I don't feel like that happens nearly, like just in our country, culturally speaking, I don't feel like that's as much of a thing anymore as it used to be.
Because I think the way we watch TV has ruined the way we watch TV.
Okay.
I got to have Peacock, Prime, Sunday Ticket, YouTube TV, like all this nonsense. And I still don't even know where the game is. I don't know. It's why every sport should be on ABC or ESPN so I can just watch it in one app on my phone, tablet, or TV.
Yeah.
Right? I'm tired of watching TV the way we currently watch TV. Like right now, one of the only reasons I still have YouTube TV, because I don't need it, is multi-view. So that I can watch the Knicks and the Canadians, and I can watch the Canadians get absolutely robbed by the officials last night. On multi-view, I can watch both games at the same time. Right? Or when I'm done with that, I can just flip over and turn on Jack Ryan on Prime. Season 3. Not bad. Season 3 is pretty good. Who doesn't hate the Russians? The point is, I hate the way we watch TV.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It ruins the entire experience for me.
It's terrible.
And Mrs. Monty and I have talked a lot. If we didn't do this show, I think I would probably, and I hate to say this out loud because I'm a huge Laker fan. Would I watch the NBA at all?
No.
Not right now. You got to bring me back.
Give me a reason.
Right? I'm going to watch Notre Dame football, the Chicago Bears, PGA Tour, the Tour. How about this Kyle Busch thing?
Dude.
Buddy died of pneumonia that spread into his system and gave him sepsis. The NASCAR driver Kyle Busch got pneumonia that turned into sepsis and killed him.
It's messed up, man.
And they say it killed him in a matter of hours. Bro, what on earth are you talking about? In a matter of hours, it killed him. And I can tell you, having recently, last year, I guess, had pneumonia. A year ago, I had pneumonia. Bro, it's nothing to play with. It is nothing to play with. Do you know how painful a pneumonia / sepsis combination would be? Oh my God, dude. I'm not, no chance. At 41 years old, it killed him in a matter of hours. Ooh.
Yeah, it's really rough, dude. Really rough. Really sad, really rough. And the fact that he asked for a doctor the week before and didn't quite get what he needed, I guess, is just terrible.
Nah, bro. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, sports needs something to bring me back because this 2014 conversation has taken some of my passion for college football. I don't believe in everybody getting in. I don't believe in everybody getting in. College basketball, everybody gets in. I've lost my passion for college basketball on some levels. I hate flopping in the NBA.
Yes.
I hate the fact that there's no personalities in the NBA.
Yeah, everyone's just trying to cheat to get to what they want. You want to flop, you want 24 teams, you want like there is no appreciation for the process anymore.
You look at the NHL playoffs, and I say this every year, and you guys rail me for it. The Stanley Cup playoffs are the best playoff by far. Not close. Not close. And even with the Canadiens getting hosed last night, it was a wildly entertaining game. Those saves at the end of the third period, it's physical, it's fast. The officials stay the hell out of the way for the most part. They let them play.
Yeah, we're not ref showing it.
I cannot stand. And listen, I'm telling you right now, I would watch the Cubs every single day if I didn't have a life. If I did not have a life, bro, I'd be watching the Cubs every day.
Mm-hmm.
Without question. I'd be watching the Cubs. I'm a huge baseball fan. I am a huge. Anyway. This 2014 conversation has taken some of my zest for college football away.
Yeah, I think that the last 2 years there's just been a ton of drama in college football. I got to be honest. Like, I feel like, the Pac-12 meltdown into the CFP stuff is just tired, man. It's really tired. And behind the steel curtain of the show, we talk about all the time, like, well, why don't we talk baseball? Or why don't we work in some NBA? Or like, what else we got going on, But the problem is that this is what everyone wants to talk about, man. Everyone just wants to talk about college football and the 2014 playoff. And it's just like, all right, cool, man. I mean, we can talk about it. It's not a problem. It's all good. Everyone wants to hate on Sankey. All right, cool. Gonna have that conversation. But I don't know, man. I just maintain that it's a thing where I really hope that the sport doesn't get ruined due to big money and greed and stuff like that. I really hope it doesn't happen.
Yep, I would agree. All men should just boycott sports. No more streaming. Only watch games that are on mainstream cable. Man, I wish that works. I had pneumonia 15 years ago, and it was brutal for a month. Damn straight I'd take a vaccine now, and I have it. I have it. No, dude.
Blacklisted. They're officially moving.
Of all sports that fell off, I think baseball is trying to get it right. I have been watching and going to more games than I have in the last 2 years compared to the previous 10. Again, and I don't say it as a flex, even though it is. I'm a Cubs season ticket holder. And proudly so. I could live in Istanbul and I'd keep my Cubs season tickets. Because it's something special to me. And yeah. I do miss when we had more diversity in topics every day. I miss NBA talk. Remember when we never talked about MLS? Yes.
We still never talk about MLS, by the way.
I miss talking NBA, but here's the problem.
What
am I going to talk about with the NBA? The games are not compelling. And there is no...
What was last night? To your point, right there, not to cut you off, but what was last night?
Not
Another
compelling.
blowout in the NBA, not compelling. And the NHL was gas. Like, that's the problem with the NBA right now.
I was scoreboard watching in the NBA and watching the Canadiens game. Just what it was. And you look at the story, like even with the Vegas Golden Knights right now, what Torts is doing with the Knights, crazy. Right? There's compelling storylines. There's characters. There's personality. What is the NBA? Boring. It's paint drying. Victor's this unbelievable talent, and I don't ever want to hear him speak. The Oklahoma City Thunder are the scourge of professional sports right now.
Yes.
They're terrible for this game. I will not watch them. Also, the Rangers' new stadium sucks. Anyway, I love the timer on pitchers and MLB. It sped up the game, and the last Rangers game I went to was very entertaining. Well, there you go. Pitch clock and ABS has been better than I thought it would be.
I like ABS a lot. I hate the pitch clock still. I think that if you the cat and mouse game between the pitcher and the runner has completely died. There's just no it's
100%.
not a thing anymore. It's not around. It's not a thing. You're just focused on the hitter, and that's it. And I think that it's great. We still get guys caught stealing. Adley Rutschman, ridiculous throw yesterday. Awesome, great, good for you. But I guess I just miss the little details, the little emotions in the game of baseball. And I do think that ABS has been really good for the game. Very entertaining, especially when guys challenge pitches that are clearly strikes that they think were balls.
The reason everyone wants to talk about college football is because apathy is set into the other sports. Fucking right. Yes. So true. Tribal passion sticks in college, but it's now the real wives of USA level bad drama. Totally agree.
100%.
Bro, you're going through it over there.
Yep. No doubt about it.
How do you feel sick? Like, how bad is it?
It's not, I got pretty sick last year. That sickness is not what this one is. This is very much just like a head cold, congested cough kind of deal.
The annoying stuff.
The annoying stuff. Yeah, for sure. It's manageable. I don't have, now again, I'm sure tonight I'll be exhausted. I'm sure I'll have a pretty good amount of fatigue just from working while being sick. But like yesterday, I didn't have a ton of fatigue. I did spend, the whole week working on the house, or the whole weekend working on the house and stuff like that. And I did feel pretty tired yesterday, but I don't know, man. I think I really have no idea where I got it. I didn't see anybody I don't usually see. Did all my normal routines, maybe picked it up at Costco or something. I don't know.
Girlfriend.
I mean, it's
girlfriend's around a lot of people, man.
Yeah, maybe so.
That's how my wife. You can't tell me that's. My wife works in an office every day, and
yeah, that's probably what happened. And I think it's just one of those things where it's. I'm a big believer. There's two types of people in the world, right? There are the people that want to stay in bed while they're sick and not work through it, and then you got the people that work through it and just manage it and grind through it. And
I am not the lay in bed sick guy.
Yeah, I mean, I probably got, if we're really honest about it, probably 5 or 6 of these days a year. Honestly, I don't get sick a ton, but it's 5 or 6 of those days where you're on the full DayQuil, NyQuil regimen. I'm lucky enough, I'm awake long enough through the day that I can do, if I feel I need it, I can do 2 of those vitamin C packs. Like take one. I took one this morning at 4:15. If I'm still just feeling awful tonight, I'll take another one and sleep on it again. But I just think it's, you just gotta grind through it, man. It sucks. I'm lucky. I'm very fortunate that this doesn't feel like the super, super itchy throat kind of deal. I am coughing a little bit, but it's not like I have just a horrible, uncontrollable cough. It just kind of comes around occasionally. So it's not the worst I've had, but it's certainly not great.
A head cold is still better than cherry bombs.
Agreed. Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, water butt is the great equalizer. Anytime something's got to come out that end and you don't have control of it, that is the great equalizer in life, dude.
Hey, man. All I know
no
is I
getting
lost
over
a
it.
bunch of weight because of it. So, you
Yeah.
know.
Hey, but I mean, that's a silver lining, right? That's the silver lining. Absolutely. That is the silver lining.
Yeah, and I did, if you guys, again, if you haven't seen my golf videos over the weekend, I did wear white golf pants over the weekend.
Yeah, I thought they looked really good, dude. I felt like you rocked the outfit. It's nice.
It was all right. My body image right now is terrible.
Uh-huh.
If I'm being totally honest with you, my body image is terrible.
Yeah.
Like I everything is either like we were lifting yesterday. Mrs. Monty and I went up to the gym. We've been lifting like 3-4 days a week. We're in the gym and I don't have workout clothes right now. Well, I do. I went to body image, right? So I needed new workout clothes. So I went to Lulu and they have a new weightlifting line out. And I fit into their 2X stuff at Lulu now. Like it's crazy. But I put on the clothes that I had to work out in, and I'm like swimming in them to the point where I won't take videos or pictures of myself.
Uh-huh.
It is so like I just have terrible body image.
Yeah.
And to go in to be, I'm below my goal weight now. So we set a new goal. I want to lose 50 more pounds and then I'll be done with it. But it's really tough when you're trying to lose weight. Like there's a golf video. There's a golf video from, I don't know what year that is, where we're playing up at Canyons Golf.
Yeah.
Number one, my swing is not good. But just how fat am I? Like it is terrible. It is hard for me to even look at it.
Mm-hmm.
It is. And then yesterday we're cleaning out our closet. And I'm putting on like I love Nike yoga pants. I don't have anymore because they're too big. But I had Nike yoga shorts. Don't have anymore. They're too big.
Yeah.
Like I really like these UV shirts from Reebok. They're black, long sleeve shirts. Don't have them anymore. They were too big.
Yeah.
Like it's wild to me. You know what? I have 1,000 pairs of Travis Matthew shorts and pants now.
Yes.
And they're amazing. But you just quickly realize when you go from a size 52 waist to a 36, which is where I'm at now, like you just can't wear most. And yet then I put on clothes and I just hate the way I look in them.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that. Like this shirt this morning was a real fight for me. I fought my ass off not to put on a black quarter zip today.
Yeah, I think that shirt looks good, dude. I actually really like that color a lot.
But it is so long and it is so baggy. Like, look how, like it is. It's
long.
It's 2 sizes too big.
Yeah. Well, and
right?
I also think that there's two different categories of clothing, right? I mean, there's the stuff that you are good wearing on camera and wearing on the course and things like that. And then there's the stuff that you'll just wear around the house. I definitely have those different kind of, stuff I actually like playing in versus stuff that I'll just wear around the house. Like it's kind of two different things.
Dude, it's a real battle. I hate looking at my old videos.
Yeah.
I truly cannot stand it. Like I am so embarrassed about how fat I was. And you're in it and you don't even realize it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even realize it. And then you walk into, I don't know what store I walked into, but I walked into a clothing store and it's like Lulu in Hawaii. And my wife is like, yeah, just try it on. The guy's like, oh, you'll fit in this sweatshirt. And I thought he was just trying to sell me and I threw it on and it fit perfect. Like there's nothing better than a sleeveless sweatshirt.
Is that red one that I saw you wearing on your story?
I don't have a red one.
Yeah,
an orange one.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was orange. The sleeveless hoodie. Yeah.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah.
They're amazing. Lulu's weightlifting stuff, amazing. Stupid expensive.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. It is but I say this because it's never good enough. When you lose weight, it's never enough. Like I still looking in the mirror this morning, I'm like, dude, you've lost this weight and you still have a gut. It's never good enough. At what point do you turn the corner mentally and be like, oh yeah, you look good?
Well, I think that, you only know the answer to that question. I think that there's I don't know what's good enough, and nobody else knows what's good enough. You know what's good enough, and that's up to everybody's own mind.
It's impossible.
Yeah, I mean, it's really difficult. I think that you kind of have to, the conversation at some point is going to shift from just cutting the weight to reshaping your body in some form or fashion. Like, there's a difference between just dropping weight versus changing your body composition. And I think you're slowly but surely getting to that phase of it where it's like, hey, like now I need to change. Now I need to actually like add more muscle. And it's not really about the number. It's about changing the way, my body looks.
Yeah,
works.
Getting back in the gym and lifting has been great. I love it.
Yeah.
And the grind of lifting, I really enjoy it. I like the technique that's involved in it. But anyway, I could go on and on. Yeah, it is. The answer of how much weight to lose is the weight you think realistically with the worst of your instincts that you haven't changed to good habits you can maintain once you get off. Well, and the way that because I use Zepbound is the pill he's talking about. But I take it in injection. I'm at like 10 because it goes from like 2 to 5 to 7.5 to 10. I doubt I will ever go above 10. I don't know why I would. Because my doctor wants me losing 1.5 pounds a week maximum. And so if you figure I got back from Paris and in the last 5 months, I've lost 31 pounds. That's 6 pounds a month, which is almost spot on 1.5 pounds a week. But you quickly learn that you have to change your relationship with food. You have to change why you eat food. Like if you're not air frying chicken thigh tacos are chicken thigh, almost anything is really good. Like chicken thighs in the air fryer last night and we chopped them up and made tacos. Just all it is wash the chicken thighs, rinse them off, put them on a plate, salt and pepper, both sides really thoroughly. I put it in the refrigerator for 2 hours. Took it out, lightly sprayed olive oil on it, put them in the air fryer, cooked them for I think 20 minutes at 400. Boom, perfect. Little fresh avocado, little shredded lettuce, chicken, little fresh shredded cheese. Like, oh, so good. But what you quickly learn is you're eating because it's a utility.
Yeah.
You have to take the emo eating out of it.
Yes.
That's what you have to do. And when you're making tacos, next time you make tacos at home, and I know nobody ever cooks anymore in this country, but when you make tacos at home, do chicken thighs, you'll thank me. It is so good. Lose enough to build some muscle back and be at a good weight. That's what I'm doing now. Like I'm going to keep losing weight and I have no desire to lift heavy weight. I don't think I need it, but I definitely am putting more muscle on. I am looking forward to this process because I'm ready to be stronger. I do feel a little weak. I have this issue in my upper right back right now where I just have a little like weakness and discomfort there.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, physically, I'm in really good shape. Like I have no issues, knock on wood. I have no issues with like my back, my joints. Like even again, I don't have an ACL in my left knee. No problem.
Yeah.
No problem. I think the other Sunday I walked 16,000 steps or something like that. No problem. No issue. Even with the shot, you won't be able to keep losing 1.5 pounds a week just by the nature of where you're already at, unless you decide to become a cardio crazy guy. Well, part of it is just being more active. Eating the right amount of calories and mixing the right activity in there, you'll keep losing weight. Trust me, dudes, I have so much weight I could lose. I really could. Yes, chicken tacos. It's Taco Tuesday. Make them at home. So good. Got to my goal weight and continued injections for another 6 months to maintain, but off them for 2 months with no weight gain so far. Nice. We like to hear that. Jake is so right. Could be 6'3", 230 is going to look extremely different on two people. Yes. I'm just a big dude. I have really wide shoulders. You know, like I have a big frame. But it's just a matter of what you want to do, what you want to look like. Like, I mean,
yeah, that's the hard part is it's the difference between looking at yourself and not liking what you see, but also at the same time knowing like what you want it to look like. I think it's hard to know what you want it to look like other than, hey, I just want it to look better. Like that's hard.
And can we talk about this serial killer in Mexico? Will you guys please stop going to Mexico?
But Monty, I'm going to a resort. What's the big deal?
Dude, cops are scouring evidence and surveillance footage as they are looking for a serial killer they believe now responsible for 3 deaths in Puerto Vallarta.
Oh.
Including that of a 22-year-old female who was found May 10th. 5 days later, the second victim was found at a roadside stop. The most recent body was left on a dirt road. All 3 women were in their early to mid-30s with tattoos in the resort town of Puerto Vallarta. Ooh. That's not great. Mexico scares me. Am I irrational about this? I already won't take cruises. Honta, did you see one of those dudes that they took off that ship? And I can't remember where he went back to, but he had Honta virus. And now they're worried that he spread it. Nah, bro. I'm fine. Not going on cruises. Not going to Mexico. Other than that, you know.
Yeah, I'm not interested in burlap sacks and all that. I'm not interested in going somewhere where people are trying to cut my head off. That's not happening.
Is there somewhere you want to go?
I mean, I'm excited to go back to Hawaii. I think, I would love to go and spend some time in the Northeast, Boston, New York, Philly. Haven't had the chance to really spend a lot of time there yet. So there are places. Mexico's not one of those places though.
Yeah, Mexico's not, I'm not excited. I would not go. There is
I just
no
think at some
chance.
point Americans need to learn the lesson, bro. Like at some point, like you're going down there and you're taking a risk, dude.
You're asking for trouble, in my opinion.
And the defense of, well, I'd rather go to Mexico than like the Middle East. It's not really much of a defense, dude. Nobody's going to the Middle East. I'm not going to the Middle East as an American, dude. Sorry, that ain't happening.
I would love to go play golf in Dubai. Not doing it. No. I want to, the next places I'd really like to go, I'd really like to go back to Oahu to play Turtle Bay. I would love to get to the Bahamas to play golf in the Bahamas. It looks so fun. Link style golf, where somebody who hits a cut like I do would do very well. Like, bro, I'm all about it. But I cannot ever envision myself saying, oh yeah, honey, let's go to Mexico.
Yeah, let's stay at the hotel. Not a big deal.
I don't think I could do that. Mike says I would rather go to Mexico than many areas in the Middle East.
Yeah, but see, again, that's what I was just saying. I don't think that's a fair comp. Like,
I'm not know that it is either.
Like, one, Mexico's on our back door, if you will. Middle East is, across the world. But two, I mean, I just think the Middle East is just war torn, man. It's not where you want to be.
Oklahoma State fan James, I'm going to Florida next month to see my parents. Do they know that you're trying to leave Oklahoma State? Hope to do an update on UCF Stadium. Okay.
I want to thank me for having no days off.
Okay. I want to go to Nassau, Bahamas, Cayman Islands, or back to the Virgin Islands. Yeah, dude. Caymans are beautiful. Beautiful. It's all about calories and activity balance. Yes, it is. Yes, I would agree with that. But no, I'm not going to Mexico. I truly am not.
Hell no.
You're never going to get me to do that. Maybe I'm too paranoid. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, let me be paranoid and have the ability to continue to not know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, listen, I'll be the Tim Foiler who hangs out at home. You let me know what the serial murderer is like, okay? You let me know if you can.
Not doing it. All right. The Monty Show is always presented by the Advocates at theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. 24/7, 365 at theadvocates.com. Again, the 100 deadliest days are upon us. Please slow down. Please be careful. The Advocates remind you to keep an eye. Be mindful of the scooters, the bicycles, the kids who are out of school now this week. Many kids are getting out of school this week. They're going to be on the streets. They're going to be in their yards. They're going to be hooping in the front yard on the driveway. Slow down. And if the worst happens, get the best at theadvocates.com, where you never reach into your pocket to pay the Advocates, because you don't pay the Advocates unless and until they win your case. Check them out online, 24/7, 365 at theadvocates.com. Until tomorrow, Jake, I hope you feel worse.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.